Welcome to Universal Truths, Exploring the Extraordinary, the space where healing meets mystery and the human experience unfolds in all its depth. Here, we explore the challenges that shape us, the emotions that move us, and the encounters that remind us that there's more to this world than what we see. From personal growth and inner transformation to the paranormal and the unexplained, every episode invites you to look deeper, think broader, and discover new perspectives. This is Universal Truths, Exploring the Extraordinary. Welcome back to Universal Truths, Exploring the Extraordinary. So what happens when trust breaks? What happens when someone finally speaks the truth they've been holding in? And what happens when a child, a partner, or a parent steps forward and everything shifts? And more importantly, how do we respond in a way that protects dignity, safety, and connection, even when things feel uncertain? There are things we're taught about love, family, and identity long before we ever question them. What a partner should be, what a parent should carry, and what a child should become. But life doesn't always stay inside those definitions. Sometimes roles change, sometimes truth surfaces quietly, and sometimes silence becomes heavier than words. There is no one size fits all when it comes to family. This space isn't about judgment. It's about understanding what it means to be human inside relationships that are real, complex, and sometimes painful. Today's episode is Family Roles, Exploring the Truth. And today joining me is Sarah Beth.
Hello.
Let's begin exploring the extraordinary. The role and responsibility of partners and parents can vary by culture, faith, values, and unique dynamics of each family. So let's begin with the role of partners. Those whose actions set the tone for the home. And just as importantly, what happens when that responsibility is abandoned or neglected? When a partner begins to dismiss the needs of their family in favor of personal desires, the consequences rarely stay contained. They can ripple through every part of the home, often leading to emotional damage, disconnection, instability, financial strain, and a gradual weakening of the entire family structure. Family is not easy. And no book can fully define how it should work, because every person brings their own story, their own wounds, and their own perspective. What do you think about that?
I completely agree. You never know what someone's going through or what they've been through or what they're going to go through. So yeah, everyone's story is unique, everyone's situation is unique, and how they respond, act, and do things is unique.
Yeah, because, they have all those books out there, right? All those self-help, family books, even the book that I've written. Like, there's all these books out here that give you kind of an idea of where to go when you're having instability in the family.
Right.
But depending on the people in the family who are having the disagreements, the parents, the partners, the kids, you don't know what all's going on in their life. So that book, whatever you have in that book, may not be relatable to what they're going through or how their perspective sees it. So it's different.
Right. You gotta be open to interpretation and just looking at all aspects of a situation.
Yeah. All right, so you're going to read roles and responsibilities, right? Tell us some of the roles and responsibilities of, partners?
Husband and wife in a traditional marriage. So like their core responsibilities, like love, respect, and responsibility. Usually, you need to show affection, kindness, loyalty, and appreciation. Speak respectively, even during disagreements. Protect the emotional safety of the relationship to each other. And contribute to the household financially. And then two, like in your partnership, you want to share decision making, work as a team on finances, parenting, schedules, and goals, support each other's dreams and growth, share burdens, and celebrate each other's wins. You got to keep that communication open. Otherwise, it's not a good partnership.
You do, and I think it is very important when you go back to number one, when it's the love and the respect. Like, love is more than just a word.
Right.
Love has to be an action. You have to show your partner love every day. You can't just say, hey, I love you, and that be enough, because it's not enough. There's different types of love languages. And some people have communication, some people have gifts, some people have touch. So depending on what that partner's love language is, just simply saying I love you is not going to be enough to fulfill them in that relationship. You have to show actions. You have to be available in their life. You
Right.
have to be able to do things. Like for my daughter, she likes the touch, right? But only sometimes. But she likes to talk. She likes words of validation and love. But she also likes gifts, which I mean most girls do.
Right.
And the main thing is she wants to spend time with her boyfriend. She wants that connection.
Right.
You know, and so, but his love language is going to be a little bit different. You know, so it's trying to find that common ground
Right.
in that relationship. My husband does not like to talk. That is not his love language at all. He would like to do nothing, but he does not want to talk.
Right. For me, it's action.
Yeah.
Say what you do and do what you say.
That's how I am. You know, I like words. Like it's nice to get a little bit of words every now and again. You know, the I love yous in a text or something like that, right? Or a card every now and again.
Yeah.
That's great. But because it's something that you can look back on.
Right.
To remind you of that love and validation, right? But to have that touch, to have that action, I would be happy if you would just do dishes every now and again.
Yep.
You know, to me, that's a great
would.
love of, you know, action of love, or maybe take out the trash. Like,
Right.
it's something so simple like that means so much to some people. Just being there, knowing that they
Right.
need that help,
It really
you know,
is.
and then with that, and that goes with sharing the decision making. You know, being able to take that load and split it, you know, because a marriage should be 50-50.
Right. When you like just going out to eat, well, what do you want? I don't care, whatever you want.
Yeah.
You always having to plan and, you know, set up everything. I mean, it's exhausting. Sometimes you just like to go and have someone else have, you know, take the lead.
Yeah, and I know that's one of the things that my daughter and her boyfriend will argue about sometimes is he'll say, where you want to go? I don't care. Where you want to go? I don't care. And it's like, then they both get mad at each other because no one's saying anything.
Right.
You know, but yeah. All right, what's next?
So faithfulness and trustworthiness. You want to be honest and dependable, keep commitments, maintain emotional and physical fidelity. That's very important. Just like going back with communication. You want to listen to your partner without dismissing, discuss problems maturely instead of avoiding or attacking, express feelings, needs, thoughts, and appreciate clearly.
Yeah.
So it's very big.
And most men don't want to express feelings or their needs.
I think they see it as a weakness.
I do. And it's not. It's communication with your spouse so they know exactly how to approach you or what your needs are, you know, to be able to provide for you the same actions of love.
Exactly.
You know, but if you don't share anything, how are they supposed to respond with you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't fix a problem if you don't know about it, and they can't, you know, help you or support you if you don't communicate how you're feeling.
Right. And the emotional and physical fidelity, I mean, look how many people that we know whose spouses have been, you know, cheated on or have cheated, you know, and so it's like, that is something super important. And we're going to talk about later. I have found 10 different types of infidelity, but I know there's more. But it covers a wide array of so many different things that most couples, I don't think, know can damage a relationship.
Right. Some things they might not even realize are cheating.
Right. And they are. You know, marriage is a relationship between you and your partner, and they're supposed to be your best friend too. They're supposed to be your confidant, somebody that you come to for advice and talk to and work things out with. But when you have to go outside of a marriage for that connection, that's not great.
You're breaking trust.
You are, especially if it becomes a breaking of trust and going over boundaries is when you are hiding it. If it's just a regular friendship, you shouldn't have to hide anything.
Right.
It comes infidelity when you are hiding.
Right. If you
That's
feel
what
like
makes
it's
it that way.
wrong, then it's wrong.
Yeah. If you have to change your password on your phone.
Hide your phone.
Yeah.
Have a friend
That's
cover
not just
for
a
ya.
friendship.
Yeah.
You know, if you can't talk to your spouse, in front of your spouse to this person, something's wrong.
Yeah, it is.
All right, what else?
You also have emotional presence. You want to be available, dependable, attentive, and engaged. Notice when your spouse is overwhelmed, hurting, or needing support. There's also like shared household. You want to do like shared household effort, growth, and accountability. Like help with chores, errands, planning, shopping, and the unseen mental load of family life. Be willing to learn, apologize, improve, and adapt as life together evolves. Just like you said, you might be exhausted, and sometimes you just want someone to do just a load of dishes.
Yeah. And I think chores should be split in a marriage. You know, it shouldn't all just be dependable on one person. Even if that person stays at home, what some people don't understand is that just because you're at home does not mean they're at home doing nothing.
Right.
You don't see the behind the scenes of them being on the phone all day, scheduling appointments, doing this. I mean, there's so much that goes into it.
Right.
I mean, you know me, I don't stop all day long.
No, I think a lot of people think of when you stay home or even work from home, they picture like Peggy Bundy sitting on the couch eating bonbons or something.
But it's emotionally exhausting.
Yes.
It's not, I know where some people, your job is physically exhausting, but to stay at home and have to deal with some of the things that some people have to deal with, taking care of other family members, children that may be at home, or children who may be disabled or anything like that. Like there can be so many different things.
Pets, even just keeping the household clean after
I mean,
a family.
it's just emotionally exhausting, which is sometimes a little worse than physical exhaustion.
It is, yeah.
Learning how to apologize. That is huge, guys. You have to be able to apologize in a relationship. And then we're going to explain a little bit about, apologies in a little bit, but you have to be able to know and take constructive criticism, because your spouse is not being mean sometimes, maybe some of them could be, but most relationships, your constructive criticism is there because they're trying to express to you their perspective of the situation. And maybe when you're in that moment, you're not seeing how you're behaving to other people.
Right.
So being able to take that constructive criticism and apologize.
Well, that's what that trust is being able to feel like you can tell your partner anything. And not be judged and be safe,
Yeah. So that's super important, to be able to adapt together, because one of the things with adaptation is when you go through your marriage with your partner, you're going to be introduced to different people throughout the history of your span together, right? Each of you are going to meet different people from jobs. You're going to meet their friends. You're going to meet other family members maybe you've never met before. Like there's going to be so many things out there, and you're going to be introduced to so many different things and scenarios that you each have to learn to adapt. And that's what comes with marriage. You grow together. You learn together. Marriage is not perfect. It is something you have to work with every day, like any relationship.
And having that partner that you're going to face the ups and downs with, you're going to be in the uncomfortable situations together. The key word is together. You're both there, you're both present. You're both
it can't just be one person doing everything. It can't be.
Right.
And we're going to talk a little bit later too about counseling that I went through and some of the things that were brought to our attention in the counseling, which are great, but then there are some of the scenarios I didn't agree with. And so we're going to go over those. So I'll let you continue.
So what matters most is a partner is not simply someone who lives in the home or pays bills. It is someone who is present, dependable, respectful, supportive, listens, emotionally engaged, and willing to grow. A partner is not responsible, however, for fixing a partner who refuses to grow, carrying the entire emotional load alone, accepting disrespect, neglect, cheating, or abuse, being silent to keep peace. That is a total no-no.
Right.
And also, too, they're not responsible for doing everything while receiving little in return.
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that you read was that fixing a partner who refuses to grow, that's not your problem. You can't fix somebody who doesn't want to or doesn't see that there's something going on, that there's something wrong in the way that they're treating you. That's why I say you have to take constructive criticism, because that's your partner's way of expressing to you how you're making them feel. And that should be important to you.
Yeah.
If you're making them feel like garbage, if you really love your partner, you want to say, oh, I'm really sorry, mean that, and work to change.
Right.
To make them not feel that way anymore.
Right.
Because sometimes your behavior, you're caught up in that moment of hostility because of the argument, that you might say things that you don't mean. Right. And that come out pretty rude.
Oh, yeah. That's when you got to grow and be open to realize, okay, I'm sorry, it was the heat of the moment, and realize, your words can affect them.
Yeah, we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We're all going to get heated in the moment sometimes, right? Right. But it's all about how you carry yourself. It's your character. If you really love that person that you're with, you don't want to bring them any kind of heartache. You shouldn't want to. So the minute they tell you that that's what you've done, you should want to correct that.
Yeah, you should want to step back, even if it's taking time to cool off and come back and apologize. Just, validate their feelings.
Right. Yep.
Now, red flags of neglecting those roles: constant selfishness, financial irresponsibility, emotional absence, refusing accountability, disrespect towards your spouse, ignoring children's needs, anger, manipulation, abuse, leaving all labor to the other parent or spouse, and the most damaging is gaslighting. Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
I know. That's one of the biggest problems most relationships have, is the gaslighting. And that's really a terminology that we've come to know or have put a name to, for that behavior over the past several years, I think. Because I know when I was in high school or even in my younger 20s, we've never used that word.
Yeah.
But, manipulation, that's huge.
Right. Big time.
And, we talked last week about abuse. It could be physical or mental.
Right.
Mental abuse is horrible. Just trying to, tell that person when they're telling you something and sharing something with you and you say, oh, they're crazy, or, no, you're just imagining that. That's mental abuse.
Oh yeah. Or even when they put on the fact that they say that it's your fault that they're treating you a certain way. Either way, they always point it back to you. And that's actually what gaslighting is. It's like a form of persistent psychological manipulation.
Yeah.
It's designed to make victims question the reality, memories, or sanity, often to gain control. Signs include outright lies, shifting blame, trivializing feelings, and denial of events.
Almost like a narcissist.
Yes, absolutely. It's I think, pretty much the number one character trait of a narcissist.
Yeah. We've met quite a few of those, I must say.
I have. But then that's a character flaw on my part, I think. They just flock to me and I'm just like, hi.
Well, but in the beginning, so that's the thing with narcissists. In the beginning, everything's perfect.
Love bombing.
Right. Almost too
Prince
perfect.
Charming, yes.
Right. And then it's like the more you're together, it gradually dissipates. And then it kind of shifts and then everything's put on you and then you're crazy or they blame you for their actions. And it's like, no, I didn't make you do that.
Right.
I didn't make you fall in that bed with that person.
Yeah, it goes back to that. Never look a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah.
Next time I'm taking that sucker to the dentist.
Right. I mean, some of the things clients have shared or family and friends have shared with me is just like, did they really say that to you? And I'm like, they're like, yeah. What?
I'm coming from with the worst narcissist, and you just finally, once you wake up and you get out of that vicious cycle, you go back and you really truly see the situations you're in, and you're just like, how could he have done that? But worst off, how can you let that keep continuing?
Right.
Like, you did put yourself in that situation. You could have
Yeah.
walked away at any point, but it goes back to the constant, they're training you.
Yeah. And they pick on your mental stress. Like
Yes.
if they know that you're mentally exhausted and they know that they this is the thing too, they like to trap you. They like to get you in a situation where you're completely dependent on them.
Right.
And that's what's bad. And so I think for you and for a bunch of other people that I've met, they get you where you're in that mental state of exhaustion and they know you're not going to fight back.
Right.
You just give in.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's not your fault. That's them manipulating you.
Right. And I remember thinking too, like, you already know what's going to happen. It's going to be the same thing. It's like, just why even try? You already know what's going to happen. So you just let it go and you let it go and you let it go until there's just...
And you can even provide them with proof, man, like recordings, video or audio. And you're like, well, I've got proof. And you can show it to them and they will still flat out and deny it.
What are you going to believe me? Who are you going to believe, me or your eyes?
Or yourself. Like, are you going to believe your own words? Because this is literally
your own memory, your own... Yeah.
I've had clients play me stuff that they've recorded. And they're like, yeah, this is what he said. Listen, I'll play it for you. And I'm like, okay. So then they'll play it. And then you hear that the guy in the background or the woman denying, that's not me. Are you kidding me?
This is your workplace in your clothes, getting in your car, calling from your phone with your mom.
Yeah.
You like, oh, okay.
You show them the emails that they've written or the text messages they sent to this person, or I've known people who somehow, I don't even know how you do any of this because I've never even done any of this, but like there's an app out there that you can download on your partner's phone without them knowing, and any kind of calls or texts you'll get too.
Yes.
Like it mirrors their phone, I'm assuming. Have you ever heard of anything like that?
I've used them.
Have you?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
And it's nice because it gives you that security, but at the same time, you become addicted to it.
Right.
Because you're paranoid.
Right.
You're always having to check constantly, and you get to the point where you're living and breathing, not enjoying time for what few minutes, that are enjoyable, and they're being the honest person. You just, it's awful. It's horrible.
And to be placed in that relationship, to be placed in that position that you have to do that.
I've done some stuff that, looking back now, like I was a psychotic, crazy person.
Yeah.
But they turn you into that.
Right.
In fact, speaking of said person that I have saved in my phone still, I have as the code for clinical narcissist, which is F60.81.
Yeah.
Just a fun fact in case anybody want to know that.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right. So what else can you teach us about infidelity? This is going to be something big that we talk about because I think it's important. I know I have clients and family and friends who this is a huge deal with. And I know you have family and friends that have, and yourself, that have experienced this, and me too, but in different ways. This is a huge, almost an epidemic in some places, because I didn't even realize there were this many infidelity situations until I had my business. Just like with the abuse and the abuse and assaults. I didn't even realize there was that many until I opened up my business and heard from my clients. And it blows my mind how partners in a relationship think that they can get away with some of the things they get away with.
Well, and the way it's become so common, I think society itself has kind of
I guess with social media and everything,
it's kind of become like immune to it. Like now they have those relationships, now they call situationships or whatever, and it's like all being in a relationship without the label, so you could still date other people or whatever. And it just, I don't know, the way things that look at now, like, I mean, that's why I'm still single, because I don't, it absolutely blows my mind, and I just couldn't. I don't know.
It's a lot of work.
Then
I think it should be. Like, you should be able to be in a relationship with a partner that you've chosen to be with, right? It's not like in some countries where there are arranged marriages.
Right.
You've chosen to be with this person, and that person supposedly has chosen to be with you. There shouldn't be any of this.
Right.
If you do not find happiness, go to counseling. If counseling doesn't work and you just have fallen out of love with your partner,
tell them. Do
them the favor of telling them and splitting up.
Right.
Because by staying together and going through this type of betrayal,
it's worse.
Harms the family.
It's worse.
It's horrible on the children. It sends trauma, which you're going to read about in a minute, to the spouse that's you was cheated on, right? So if you just do the favor, man, and just
I would have rather my ex come and told me that,
just be honest.
I'm the most unattractive person they ever met.
Or I just don't have feelings for you that way anymore. Yeah, I don't have feelings for it.
I'd rather them dog cuss me out.
Right.
Than have cheated on me over and over like they did.
Because it makes you feel like there's something wrong with you.
Right.
Especially if it's a physical cheating, it makes you feel like you're not beautiful enough for them to stay with you. And that's just from talking to friends and talking to family who have gone through this, or clients. It diminishes something from that person's soul. It takes away something. It almost takes away from their identity.
It does. It turns you into a completely different person. It's almost like Dr. Frankenstein just creating this monster. I mean, you look at the mirror one day and you don't realize the person looking back at you, and you actually hate. At least I actually absolutely hated the person that I became. Didn't resemble myself. I didn't act like myself. I lost myself completely. And it took forever for me to piece it back together. And it would have been so much easier if they would have just said, I don't love you, you're disgusting, whatever, versus cheating. Because then not only do you have those feelings that you're unattractive and everything else, but you have that paranoia of you don't have the trust.
Right.
And so then when later on down the road, God willing, you're in a good relationship, you meet someone that's good,
But you compare them constantly to
and
this
you're
person.
damaged, and so then they look at you like you're crazy, and you are crazy because of the previous trauma.
And they don't know that sometimes. They don't know what you've gone through. I know for me, which I've talked about, I think, a couple of times on the show, and you and I've talked when I've gone through some stuff, that, I mean, I got so bad in my state that, I mean, I would literally lay in bed and be like, look, man,
Yeah.
I'm ready to go. Because they make you feel like you're useless in this
Right.
in this life, like you're not gonna be missed, you know, and it's a crappy feeling to be able to feel that way. But you know, in those moments for me, I found peace. It wasn't that I wanted to die, you know, it was my way of just letting go, of just releasing it and giving it up to God, because I was just like, just bring me home. You know, I'll be with family that actually loves me. You know, I can be in a place of love and be surrounded by my Creator and everybody else, right? But of course, you know, he's got a sense of humor. I wake up the next morning and it's like, crap, I got to do all this again. You know?
Yeah.
And you're stuck in those feelings, but you know, it's there because it's a lesson you have to learn. It's something you have to go through to find your own inner strength.
Yeah, I just
And
hope
it's a crappy situation, but
it is, and I just hope people are stronger than me and listen. Like you
Yeah.
told me numerous times, hey, this ain't healthy. You know, cut them off, get rid of them. You know, whatever. But again, me and my stubbornness, you know, did not listen.
However, though, when I've gone through that kind of stuff, you brought me back, you know, and Sarah brought me back, or, you know, a couple of clients, you know, I was able to talk to, and they became, you know, my biggest people, you know, on my side, my ground crew. And so it takes a village to help somebody through what they're going through. You can't do it alone. You do it alone, you're going to get lost. You're going to get so lost in your head that you're going to spiral out. I mean, that's facts. You have to be able to find and trust into people to confide in, even if it's just reaching out to me on my website at universalworksofhealing.org. I'm here for you to talk to. You know, again, I don't have any diplomas or, you know, anything like that, but I have life experience, you know, and I have the ordained ministry, you know, certain thing. And so, you know, I'm able to spiritually and try to help people the best way that I can. But if I know that you need more than what I can help you with, I'm going to tell you that.
You've got the resources to refer them.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, I've got therapists that I know, therapists my clients see, that we work together with that client, you know. And so, but you have to be able to talk to somebody. You cannot deal with this, even with infidelity. You cannot deal with that alone. You have got to find a friend that you can confide in, now, and this is important, because I only have a couple of friends that will be truly honest with me. And that's what you need. You need a friend that's going to put you back in your place. Tell you the role that you played in the things that maybe you've done wrong, or a better way that you could communicate it to your spouse, right?
Oh, yeah.
You don't need do not talk to somebody who is only going to be on your side.
Right.
That's
enabling. That's not helping.
Right. So you need somebody who can be non-biased, who can see it from both sides, and can give you the advice and information and guidance that you truly need, and not just constantly agree with you and say, oh yeah, because you're my friend, oh yeah, he was wrong, or oh yeah, she was wrong.
Yeah.
No, you need to be able to dissect the entire situation. Cheating is wrong no matter what, for sure. You did not ask to be cheated on, for sure. But you have to be able to see the perspectives of both sides. What would have caused him to go that way?
Right.
What was he dealing with that led him astray? Did he read or misread communication between the two of you? Maybe sometimes I've had a client who's gone through some huge physical pain, but didn't communicate that with her spouse. So her spouse thought that she wasn't attracted to him anymore. So he found it from somewhere else.
Yeah.
But that wasn't the case. Had she just opened up to him and explained to him what was going on, maybe he wouldn't have felt so emasculated, I guess, is that the word? To where, oh, okay, so then you do love me, you are attracted to me, like there's no problems in our marriage, you're just having a health issue.
Right.
Do you see what I'm saying? Where it's miscommunication, and it can be misread as something else if you don't talk to each other. You have to be able to talk to your spouse. You have to, no matter what the situation. You have to be able to do that. And especially if you got stuff going on in your life, you've got to share that with your partner.
Right. I mean, and that is the whole relationship.
Right.
I mean, that's the foundation. If
Yeah.
you don't have that, then it's just
Yeah.
going to crumble.
Because you're going to feel like, well, why is he ignoring me? And he's feeling like, why isn't she attracted to me? And it's just a constant cycle of miscommunication. So communication, guys, is the big thing.
Talk it out. Talk it out.
All right. So tell us a little bit about aspects of cheating, I guess. The different cheating.
Well, so like cheating in a relationship is a painful betrayal that can take on various forms, both overt and subtle. So what counts as cheating? It's crucial to recognize that cheating extends beyond just physical affairs. Post-infidelity stress disorder, PISD, while not an official diagnosis, it describes a real debilitating experience. PISD is not currently recognized in the DSM-5, the Manual for Mental Health Diagnosis. It's similar to PTSD, which includes unwanted recurring memories of the affair, or like flashbacks, nightmares, high anxiety, panic attacks, severe anger, and difficulty trusting others.
Now, that for me is huge. And most people, I will say, have never heard of post-infidelity stress disorder.
I haven't, but I feel like I have that 100%.
Yes. For me, my triggers, which I know you're going to read some triggers, my triggers were specific phrases that were used in communication with the other person. So between my spouse or my partner or whoever it was talking to that other person. That's what would trigger me. If they would use that same phrase with me or in just casual conversation with somebody else. That triggered me like that. Wow. Certain songs trigger me. Smells. Holidays.
Yes,
I don't like some holidays now. That infidelity has ruined it for me. And that's been years now. Like many years now. And it's still my trauma. And that's what people don't understand is that the infidelity that you go through, you may be working it out with your spouse or your partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, right? But it's still trauma. It's still an emotional thing that you went through. And you're not crazy for feeling this way. I've never had panic attacks in my life until then. Now when I get triggered, even a simple conversation with somebody, if it gets heated in some way that reminds me of that moment, I'll start having a panic attack.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even with that person I'm talking to. Like my spouse or, a friend. It can be anybody. It can be a client.
Yeah.
But that's my trauma. It's not the person that caused the trauma anymore. It's my trauma.
Right, your emotional response, the reaction.
Right, because I'm allowing it to still continue to be there. But for me, it's healing for me. It's educational for me to be able to, all right, note that feeling, right? Respond to it, call you or Sarah, have you guys work with me through it, and to be able to have that educational from that lesson to take on to my clients. So I take everything that happens to me and I learn from it, or I try to, with the help of my friends and family, and kind of relate it to what my clients go through. Because if I didn't have these experiences, how can I relate to somebody who has gone through it?
Oh yeah,
right?
Turn a negative into a positive.
Right, and so that's why everything negative or bad that has happened to me in my life, I probably would go through again if I knew it was going to get me here.
Yeah.
Because literally everything that I've gone through that's been so bad in my life, I've got clients that have gone through the same thing. So, but now I can relate to them.
Right.
So being in relationships where I have had partners cheat on me, right? I know how that feels.
Right.
So physical or emotional, back in when I was in high school, which does that count? But it's got to count.
Relationship.
In my early 20s, I had partners who cheated on me physically with somebody else. Here in the most recent decades, or shoot, I'm in my 50s now, so late 20s, 30s, whatever, there have been other issues, with past spouses or whatever. Yes, I have past spouses, but but it's all something that I learned from. But I've had so many different traumas. I don't get angry really anymore unless I see some kind of behavior within my family or my friends or my kids. And it's not anger. It's more of like, hey, we need to talk about this because what you're displaying ain't okay, or what your partner is displaying that you're telling me about is not okay.
Yeah.
So it's stuff like that. And what's funny is when talking to my clients about these things, that's not a trigger for me.
Really?
No.
Well,
I think that's one of your gifts.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
I would think that would trigger me, but it does not trigger me.
It gets me riled up because I think about what all I went through, but I still listen to, the partner and what they have to say and everything. But yeah, I always can relate, and it's still just, that's all I can say.
All right. So tell us about some of these.
So as far as PTSD triggers, there are sensory or situational reminders that cause a person to relive the emotional trauma or betrayal. Because of the brain is in a state of hypervigilance, it scans for anything even remotely related to the infidelity to protect itself from further harm. And some of the common triggers can include like physical and sensory cues, media and entertainment, like watching a TV show or movie with a cheating storyline, or hearing a special song, and there's little air quotations, y'all can't see me doing that was played during the discovery of the relationship.
Now that right there is huge for me. That has been a trigger for me, where I have watched in a show and one of the spouses or partners have cheated. That triggers me immediately. I have to walk away.
Really?
It literally will cause me to have a panic attack. Isn't that weird?
No, it's not. Gosh, who is it that sings "Somebody Save Me"?
Yeah.
That's
My ex would play that over and over and over and over. Like this pity party, like help me.
like he's the one that was always messing up, and
Yeah.
So now every time I hear that song, my skin just crawls.
Yeah.
And I used to love it. It used to be a great song until
Yeah.
and it always goes back to that. So yeah.
I do though. I have to get up and walk away and call either you or Sarah and take a step outside, because I found that if I'm outside in nature, it calms me a little bit better, and I do my breathing techniques. But having you guys talking to me, and not even about the situation, because that's normally what I tell you guys. I don't want to talk about what's going on.
Right, just redirect.
I need the redirection to get me out of my own my mind.
Yeah.
And so that helps me, being out in nature, doing my breathing techniques, and getting you guys to talk to me about your day. Takes me away from that.
Yeah.
But I can't step back into that. Now, do I tell my husband that that's what's triggered me? No, because he doesn't know. He doesn't understand why it's triggering me. You know what I'm saying? And it's not his to deal with. It's for me to deal with.
Right.
But is the communication there? Yes. Maybe later I will tell him, because I do need him to know about it. Because that's all part of communication with your spouse. He's going to want to know, why did I walk away? What did I do wrong? Why is she mad at me? It's got nothing to do with you. But I have to be able to care for my mental state first.
Right. Then you can come
before doing that. So, okay, go ahead.
So like there's also technology, like seeing your partner receive a text message, hearing a specific notification sound, or seeing them on social media. And that for me was another big one. Always the different dating apps, social media, hiding text, secret accounts, just flipping the phone.
The ding notifications.
Yes.
Snapchat was the worst.
Oh my gosh! Every time you saw them on the phone, you wonder who are they talking to? What are they messaging?
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it can even be like going to certain places, like your own home, which is supposed to be a safe space, locations where the affair occurred, or even places where you have happy memories together.
And another thing too is when they're on their phone, putting their phone face down
Yes.
is a big thing.
Yes.
Putting their phone in a drawer and closing the drawer. Taking the phone in with them in the bathroom.
Changing the pin.
Changing the pin.
code.
All of that.
You never
all of that.
wanted to look until.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also like sensory details, specific smells, like a certain perfume, sights, or ordinary objects that were present when you discovered the betrayal.
Another thing too. So I come to find out that with one of the people that one of my partners or whatever had cheated with, a specific artist that they were fond of. That triggers me when I hear that person's music or see that person's face.
Wow.
Because I automatically go to that place of, well, that's what that person liked.
And that's what they did, yeah.
That makes sense. There's also situational and behavioral cues, like significant dates, anniversaries, birthdays, big one, or the date the affair was discovered.
Yep. And that falls back on, for me, holidays.
Yes.
There's specific holidays
my
now I
birthday.
do not like. There's, let's see, 1, 2, at least 3 holidays that have been ruined for me now.
Yep.
I just don't even decorate. And it's sad because my kids but it's trauma I've got to work through, even after all these years.
It is. Now, there's even like partner behavior, unusual secrecy, emotional or physical distance, or a partner being late coming home. Again, it makes you go back to wondering, who are they with? What are they doing? Like, are they where they say they're really supposed to be?
Yeah.
So I would always check like Life 360 constantly.
Oh my God, that's the worst. That is the worst if you're with somebody that you can't trust.
It really is.
Because it is it is so detailed and so accurate on the reading, unless you have an iPhone. iPhones aren't that great. Every now and again. I know sometimes it'll show my daughter out in the middle of a field somewhere when she's literally laying in bed. But yeah, I agree. Those tracking apps.
They just, and again, it goes back to that. You can get addicted to just constantly watching it to the point where you don't get any sleep, or you don't enjoy yourself, or you can't work. I mean, it affects every aspect of your life.
That may not even be the partner that did it to you. It could be a total, like you said, you've moved on and now you're with somebody else, but that mindset has to reset. And if you haven't reset it and you haven't worked through your trauma, you're going to constantly take that same mental betrayal into the next relationship, and then they're going to be like, "Why? But I've never even done anything to you."
Right?
They don't understand that this is your trauma you're having to work through, and there are partners out there who will understand and be like, "Well, okay. I mean, I'm not giving you anything to worry
you just have
about."
To be open to that communication and tell them, as hard as it is, because that is kind of reliving the trauma, and you're opening to someone else that, like, look, I went through this. I was that.
And that
person.
has to be something you do up front in the beginning.
Yeah.
Not years later of being together. Literally up front in the beginning.
Because it's not fair to the other person.
Right. And rebounds don't work.
No.
Just so you know, I've got family and clients and friends who have rebounded, and then their person's rebounded, and these two and it doesn't work. It may work for a little bit, but most of the time it's not going to work. If it does work, good for you. You've made it through that percentage where it doesn't.
Yeah.
But
get a lottery ticket.
Yeah, I mean, how many friends have you known that have rebounded and thought, and jump right back in just to get their mind off of the trauma that they instill from the person before them?
A lot.
And it never works out.
You have to work through your trauma. Or like you said, it follows you into the next relationship, and you have trust issues and betrayals. You've already put your mind on who this person is, and it ain't even the same person that betrayed you.
You're sabotaging yourself.
You've already sabotaged it, and you've already made your mind up of how this person's going to treat you before you've even given them a chance to show them the affection of love.
Right. Now, another behavioral cue that could be a trigger is routine activities. Simple acts like leaving the house or interacting with others can trigger a sudden sense or unease of panic. And there's also like specific people, like if the affair partner has friends who knew about the betrayal, or anyone who resembles the person involved. So say if it was like a coworker or something, so now every time your partner goes to work, you're on guard. You know, just,
and God forbid you find out too what the other person's social media
is. Talk about coming in an internet stalker.
It's
awful. It's awful.
How many things have we seen on Catfish, right? Or these other TV shows where people have made up fake profiles to stalk their persons that they've been with, their partner's infidelity partner, right? Or to stalk their partner, or they've gone to the lengths of creating a fake profile to entrap their partner.
Right. It's
don't
just
do that.
No.
Just don't do that.
Not at all. Now, there's also some internal triggers that could happen, like intrusive thoughts, vivid mental videos, replaying details of the affair, even if you didn't see them happen. Like, you can come up with a mental picture, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's also cognitive dissonance. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Realizing that past memories you thought were good actually happened while the betrayal was ongoing.
Yeah.
That is huge. I've got so many vacations and trips that I thought were amazing until I found out something happened, and it's just like it overshadows any good memories you had.
Yeah, and then when you confront your partner about the infidelity, and they say some things that they really can't take back, like, they've never been happy this entire time or stuff like that, and then you try to work that relationship out, and they take that comment back, you can't take it back.
It's there, and it's attached to that memory, or
always. Yeah. And so now you're second guessing every little thing that they do because they've said that they're not ever been happy. So do I make you happy now? And if you say yes, can I believe you? It's these little things that people don't think about that you say in that moment, like we said earlier, you can't take back.
Right.
It's there. you've caused the trauma in this person by the word that you said. Words have power.
Oh, yeah.
Words have energy. And words, when they're said in that way and in that moment, depletes the other person's energy.
Oh, yeah.
And you just can't take it back. So be mindful how you speak to each other in this situation. And we're going to go over some scenarios with you guys later and talk to you about better ways of communication when stuff like this arises.
Right.
So, because it's important.
And why it feels like trauma, infidelity causes a severe shock, shattering the victim's sense of security, reality, and trust, similar to survivors of abuse or violence. There's also like physical effects. Victims may experience broken heart syndrome, severe insomnia, and constant hypervigilance, which is the brain staying on high alert to avoid danger.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to get started with, so there's 10 common types of cheating or infidelity in a relationship, and it's going to shed light on, different ways that trust can be breached. So the first one is physical infidelity. That's the main one, really. It involves a sexual or physical intimacy with someone outside the relationship, ranging from kissing to sexual intercourse. And this may be also somebody you know, somebody you don't know, somebody in your family, or one of your friends. It could be anybody that your partner is cheating on with. Anybody. It doesn't have to be just a stranger. And in fact, most of them are people you know.
Yes.
Unfortunately. It is one of the most recognized forms of cheating in a relationship. It occurs when a person engages in a sexual or intimate physical contact with someone other than their partner, violating the trust, sexual inclusivity, and within that relationship. So also a situational one-night stand. So it's impulsive, unexplained sexual encounter, often driven by an opportunity or substances. So if you get, say you're at a party, and you get a little bit too tipsy. Sometimes now, when people get drugged, you have to think about that. Did they cheat on you, or was it because they were drugged?
Right.
And then at that point, were they sexually assaulted?
Right.
So you have to know the difference from a sexual assault to infidelity, also in a certain situation.
Right.
So one night stands happen all the time.
Right.
They do.
All the time.
You've really got to ask and listen to the circumstances and what happened. I mean, it could be them looking on a website for an escort, or like you said, they went to a party and they unknowingly were drugged and were assaulted. I mean, it's two completely different things.
Right. Again, communication. Emotional infidelity. So this involves forming a deep emotional connection or attachment with somebody other than your partner. So the type of cheating may not include physical intimacy, but it can just be as damaging as in the relationship. Emotionally, infidelity often happens when another person becomes your main source of comfort, trust, or emotional support, pushing your partner into the background, hiding your marital status. So what that means is you tell this other person, or lack of telling that other person, you're even married, or telling them about your children, or whatever. It's keeping your life a secret from this person. Even doing that's not a friendship. So if they say, oh, they're just friends, it's not a friend if you're hiding all this.
Right.
If you have to hide me, or you have to hide our kids, or what have you, that's emotionally cheating.
It is.
That's not a friend. Because your friend, if that's a friend you're talking to, I should be able to say, hey, what's up?
Right, exactly.
And if I can't do that, you're cheating. Examples can include regularly confiding in this person, sharing personal thoughts that you no longer share with your partner, or prioritizing the emotional bond over your relationship. Although it may look different from physical cheating, emotional infidelity can still break trust, create distance, and leave a partner feeling excluded or replaced. And that's where the broken heart syndrome can come in. Because your heart is literally broken.
Oh, yeah.
And I know for me, I had heart palpitations. I lost a bunch of weight in those times. And so it takes a lot out of you. Because you're constantly second guessing your life with this person.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
where did it go wrong? Why am I not enough? What did they see in this person? You know what I'm saying? You're asking yourself all these questions. They have literally caused you trauma.
Right. It's almost like they just completely erase your reality.
Existence.
Yeah.
You literally lose your identity. And we're doing this episode because all of this that we're saying today and we're sharing, and this episode probably will be long, but it's a good thing it is a podcast because you can stop and come back to it later. but is because these are some serious things that we need to cover, that clients have asked me to talk about, because they're going through the same things.
Right.
And so we have to be able to, or we want to be able to get this information out there to bring a closure to the awareness month that we did last month. So this is just a really important episode, just to give out a lot of information and to let partners know that they're not crazy. That you are not alone in this. There are so many of us out there that have been cheated on. And like I said, you can reach out to me through the website, and my work number's on there. You can feel free to text me on my work number. But just know that there are others out there like you, and you are not in, because I felt like I was alone in this, even though I had you and Sarah and some other friends, right? And my mentors, I still felt alone. No matter how many people I had with me, I still felt alone because they're not in the house with me. They're not around that person when you're going through it.
Right.
So you still feel alone in what you're feeling. And it's a sucky feeling. I mean, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you still felt alone even though you had me, because I wasn't at the house with you. I didn't spend the night with you. I wasn't in your every moment to be there for you.
Well,
Like, everyone has their own trauma they go through, and even though you might have shared trauma, everyone's trauma is still their own.
Right. Yep. All right. So then there's number 3. You have digital, online, or cyber cheating. So this involves a more intense and inappropriate romantic or sexual interactions that are conducted through digital platforms, such as sending explicit messages or sexting, engaging in flirtatious or intimate conversations online, social media, or using dating apps while in a committed relationship. And I know that's a thing right now going around TikTok, is where there's an app that you can download to see if your spouse
Cheaterbuster.
Is that what it's called?
Cheaterbuster.com, yes.
I wonder if some of those they do are if they're real, or if it's just...
I know, and some people will post these fake videos with their spouse, and it's just for clicks or whatever you want to call it, likes, shares, whatever, of cheating or catching their spouse cheating, and it just...
Maybe it's just to bring awareness to the situation that it's out there.
I mean, I hope that's what it's for.
Me too. I really do.
But just to make up stuff like that is not...
Yeah. An online affair is a form of infidelity that develops through text, calls, video chats, social media, often with romantic or sexual undertones. Even if they go on TikTok, Facebook, whatever, and they comment on a person's appearance, what they're wearing, how they look. Come on, guys. If you don't do that with your spouse or ladies, that's cheating. If you don't ever go on your spouse's social media, or you're not friends with your spouse on social media, but you're friends with other people, and you give them compliments, why can't you do that to your spouse?
Yeah, exactly.
That's where the attention should go.
It should be.
Yep. The individuals involved may know little about each other beyond basic personal details or shared photos, and they may never meet in person. Even without physical contact, these connections can damage a committed relationship, create jealousy and anger, and be viewed as a serious betrayal of trust. Then you have financial infidelity. Did you know that was a thing?
Yes.
Yeah?
Unfortunately.
So this involves hiding, lying about, or misusing money within a relationship, such as keeping secret bank accounts, accumulating hidden credit card debt, or concealing spending habits. Financial cheating occurs when one partner is not honest about their financial behavior, including spending, saving, or debt. This may involve exceeding a shared budget, hiding transactions, or secretly spending money despite being asked not to, especially when there are important financial obligations that need to be met. Sometimes even on another relationship or personal habits that are wants, not needs. In some cases, it can be linked to issues such as gambling, substance abuse, or compulsive spending. This reflects my money, I can do what I want with it mindset. But in a committed relationship with shared responsibilities, especially a marriage and with children with joint finances, the behavior is what becomes financially infidelity. So that's why it becomes that. Yeah. When you're married and you have a family, the money that you both make, it's a shared money.
Yes.
It is not yours. It is not hers. It's shared for the household. It's the household's money.
Right.
And I know I do have friends out there who have separate bank accounts from their partners, but the partners know about it, and they've come to an understanding of who's going to pay what.
Right, exactly.
So A dishonest partner may drain savings, create debt, or conceal it from the other person, damaging both trust and financial security. And we've both been through that.
Oh, yeah. Like if you're going out buying stuff and you're sitting in a parking lot somewhere drinking a beer or smoking a cigarette or ordering something on Amazon and having it sent to a friend's house versus, hiding it. I mean, yeah, that's breaking your trust.
Yeah. And then there's micro cheating. So this refers to a small and subtle behavior, not something that is more intense like digital, online, or cyber cheating. This is more subtle. So this is a subtle behavior that can undermine trust in a relationship, such as flirting, maintaining secretive friendships, or frequently interacting with an ex on social media. I know that's a big one for, I know a lot of friends and clients. It happens. And now with social, all too often with social media now, especially with all these other apps that you can use to hide the fact that you're even talking to anybody. So micro cheating involves forming inappropriate or emotionally suggestive connections outside of a committed relationship. This can include checking or engaging with an ex online, maintaining a hidden presence on dating platforms, or sending flirty messages through text or social media. While it may not involve physical intimacy, the secrecy, emotional boundary crossing, and dishonesty involved can still damage trust, potentially harm the relationship over time.
Absolutely.
Yep. It's some good stuff.
It is. What was that one website that was hacked and crashed? It was talking about Dolly Madison, or
Oh, really?
do you remember? It was like a site that you would log on to actually find people to cheat with.
Really?
Yes, like
No.
it was cheaters looking for other cheaters.
Really?
And it was hacked, and like all the people that had signed up for it, all their information was released. It was a huge scandal several years ago, but
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it was
I was glad it was.
hacked. I mean, that just
Man, that's insane.
It is.
I didn't know there was anything out there. See, I'm so naive to some of this stuff because for me, if I'm with somebody, if I've chosen to be with somebody, I'm going to be with that person. Because it's funny because, I did MMA. And I grappled with a bunch of guys all the time and women. But most of our group that we did jiu-jitsu with was mainly men. There were just a couple of us girls. And so they would be in their underwear short, the shorts that they wear to work out in or whatever, to practice in. And I would get asked all the time, is your husband jealous? No. I've never given my husband a reason to be jealous. If I need to cheat on my husband, I don't need to be with my husband.
right.
I saw these guys, as naked as they were basically, as my brothers. We had guys that would come to our apartment because we were just right down the street from the gym, come and lay in ice bath. And my husband knew it, of course. And even to this day, I've always called my husband when anybody's ever come to my house of the opposite sex, even if it was just a maintenance person, because he needs to know.
Right.
Or I have you on the phone, or I call Sarah. Somebody's always knows who's in the house with me.
Right.
And I've got cameras everywhere. So, I try to protect myself best that I can.
But you still show that respect for your partner as
I
well.
do. And that's what you have to do. You have to be able to show that respect. I share what he says, sometimes way too much information with him. But, they asked if they could come over. Hey, let me call, my husband and ask if that's okay. And of course he said yes. He trusts me. And they would come and do that before a fight to lose weight. Or we had one of our fighters stay with us, him and his girls. He stayed with us for like 3 months. And my husband trusted me enough to say yes, and knew that my relationship with this person was completely platonic. And we had babysat his kids several times while he was working out in the gym. So I've never given him a reason to distrust me, because my phone's an open book for him. He knows my password. He knows all my social media. We are not friends, but he has all my social media. Passwords are in a place where he can find them. There's no secrets with me. I am an open book. I record all my phone calls. So if he needs to go back and listen to a phone call, but most of the time, this, I'm on speakerphone. So he hears everything I'm talking about.
Right.
So, but, and I think that's important. You have to be with your partner. You have to be open with them.
Right.
And I'm maybe too open with mine, but I've just never given him a reason to doubt anything. So.
Yeah. Now, there's other different types of cheating as well. There's fantasizing about someone else. It is normal to occasionally and briefly find someone attractive and have passing thoughts about them. However, when those thoughts become frequent, intentional, or emotionally consuming, it can cross a boundary in a committed relationship. Spending excessive time daydreaming about someone else may shift emotional energy away from your partner, and in some cases lead to choices or behaviors that compromise trust. It can also create unrealistic comparisons between fantasy and reality, which may negatively impact how you view your relationship. While brief, passive thoughts are natural, allowing fantasies to grow into emotional fixation or actions that affect your commitment, which can harm trust and the stability of the relationship.
Yeah. That's important.
Oh, yeah.
Fantasizing about someone else.
I mean, most of the time you probably don't even know that person, and it's just like a made-up, fictional.
Well, and even, how many times have you heard where somebody has, I mean, I've had friends do it where they've thought about, ooh, I wonder what my life would have been like with this person. Or my ex.
I've done that.
You know, all of that. I haven't, because I don't want to know what my life would have been like, because I've picked the person I want to be with.
Right.
And that person didn't suit me. That's why we're not together anymore. So for me to fantasize what it would have been like with them, why? If I wanted to know what my life would have been like with them, I would not have broken up with them. There was a reason we don't have a life together. There's a reason why I chose my husband now. You know, we clicked.
Right.
So, you know, but I didn't click with those other people.
Right.
There were things in the relationship that just didn't work out. So I wonder what it would have been like. No, because if I wanted to know, I could have just stayed in it.
Right. Strangely enough, my one person that I sometimes used to think about that was my boyfriend from high school.
Really?
Yeah, I always wondered what would happen if I had, didn't break up with him, go off to college or whatever. But,
Yeah.
I mean, things happen for a reason. And,
Yeah, and some people do. They break up to go other places. And it's not that anything went wrong in the relationship. And so those are understandable. But if you're with somebody at that moment, probably not the best thing to do.
Yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Now, another form of infidelity is object infidelity, often referred to as a form of hidden or another form of emotional infidelity. It can include obsessive dedication or addiction to hobbies, work, or other non-human interest, or even gambling, which can be used to fill an emotional void or hole in a person's life. This type of infidelity is harmful because it creates significant emotional distance in a primary relationship, with the object, hobby, or work taking precedence over the partner.
Yes.
So that'd be kind of like, would alcoholism fall under that?
I don't know if that's maybe it's an object somewhat. I think they mean like golf or video games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
stuff
could
like
definitely
that.
see gaming.
Gaming, yeah. So I think normally, I think that's what that's going to be with any hobbies that you have. If you obsess about those hobbies and that obsession gets you to the point where you're now abandoning your spouse or children to consistently do this. Like a lot of people are involved and obsessed with golf. So they may spend all their time golfing and just leave their spouse
Oh, yeah, okay.
out there. You know what I'm
That's it, like
saying?
with gaming, instead of taking care of the kids, you're playing video games.
Yeah, and I have a client right now who's in that situation right now where all that they want to do is spend time with their partner, and they've asked, "Hey, can you spend time with me?" And the partner is like, "Well, yeah, but I want to go to sleep, or I want to do this or that." But then when a new game comes out, they're up at 3:00 in the morning,
Right.
and they can wake up and do this for the video game, but you can't do that for your partner. Like, that's not cool. That's object infidelity, guys.
Yes.
FYI.
Now, another type would be neglect or abandonment. This occurs when a partner emotionally or physically withdraws from the relationship, leaving the other person feeling unsupported, unseen, or as though they were in the relationship alone, often referred to as a roommate lifestyle.
Been there, done that.
Yep.
Common characteristics of cheating are infidelity, which often involves patterns of deception, such as hiding actions or telling partial truths. It may also include gaslighting, where one partner manipulates the other into doubting their perception of reality or feelings. Another common area of concern is workplace infidelity, where inappropriate emotional or physical boundaries develop in professional settings, potentially undermining trust in the relationship.
That happens a lot.
It does.
I know with several of my clients, their partner's infidelity was with a coworker.
Well, you think, I mean, you work 40 hours a week on average and you're with these people.
And you've heard of my work wife or my work husband.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's real easy to form.
Get caught up, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You have shared experiences, I guess, from work. And so I don't understand it. I mean, I'm really close with a lot of people that I've worked with. Mine's never gotten to something like that. Although I will say that's where I met my husband, was at work. So, but I was not dating anybody at the time.
Right.
I had already broken up with this other guy and was single. So, and then found him. But it was, and the guy that I was dating, actually, I worked with also at the same place. So.
But that's different that you weren't in a relationship.
I wasn't
so
in a
it's
relationship.
Not cheating.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's also a physical affair without sex. Physical intimacy outside of a committed relationship can still be considered a form of infidelity, even when sexual intercourse is not involved. This can include acts such as kissing, foreplay, or other physical contact with someone other than a partner. In some relationships, it may also extend to secret sexual behaviors like repeatedly watching pornography or engaging in self-pleasure in a way that is hidden, especially when it violates agreed-upon boundaries or replaces intimacy within the relationship. While no sexual intercourse may have occurred, the emotional impact and sense of betrayal for a partner can be just as significant and in many cases equally damaging to the relationship.
I'm not one for pornography.
Not either.
I just don't feel that
it's not real, it's fake, it's not needed.
Yeah, I don't want that anywhere.
At least for me.
In my relationships. Now, I have been in relationships where that has happened to me, where my partner has either had a Playboy magazine or other magazines. Where they have Hustler. Is Hustler one of them, or is that for dudes or girls? No,
Yeah, okay.
See, I don't do any of this stuff, but where they would get magazines or all the stuff that's now on your telephone, because you can access the internet from your phone now. So that has happened to me, where pornography has been a huge thing in past relationships, and I don't like it. I've never enjoyed watching it. I get uncomfortable just watching sex scenes on TV. And then what's funny for me is when these sex scenes come on, I immediately go, because these people, in real life are married to other people. I immediately go to their other partners and like, how do they? Because like, is that cheating?
Yeah,
Even though they're playing a role, that they're acting, it's their job. But yeah, you're still becoming physically intimate with somebody.
That's taking a whole new type of trust,
right,
with the relationship. Right. So that I couldn't handle that.
But now, how many of these actors have actually ended up getting divorced and being with the person that they had these scenes with?
Yeah.
Too often than we'd like to know.
That's right.
So.
Now, there's also pouring your time and attention into a hobby. Devoting excessive time and focus to a hobby or personal interest at the expense of your relationship can create emotional distance and strain between partners. This may look like consistently choosing games, sports, work, or other activities over spending quality time with your partner. While hobbies are healthy and should be encouraged, they should not consistently replace connection, communication, or shared time in a relationship. When a hobby becomes a priority over the relationship, it can lead to feelings of neglect, disconnection, and imbalance, ultimately causing tension between partners.
And that's the difference between 10 and 7. So 7's mainly like gambling and stuff like that, right?
Right.
Whereas this, it talks about gaming and sports and stuff like that.
It's more like an activity.
Right. It's more activity. And I know my daughter has a hard time with her boyfriend. He does a lot of soccer. And she doesn't, she has a hard time separating that, I think, sometimes, because he's so dedicated to soccer that, if he could practice every day, 7 days a week, he would. And he just has a love for soccer. He's not doing it to hurt her, but they're not in a marriage.
Right.
She still lives at home. He lives with his parents. But she's trying to get him to understand that he needs to spend more time with her also. And I try to get her
have a good balance.
You do have to have a good balance, if you want to keep that partner. But she does have a hard time with that sometimes. And then sometimes, he invites her every time. So she goes and she watches him sometimes. I've gone and watched him sometimes. So he's pretty good. So I enjoy watching him. He's a cute little kid. Well, that kind of belittled him because he's a senior in high school.
Well, when you get to our age, half the population's considered a kid. So.
Yeah, that's true.
Now, there are different perspectives on cheaters. Some viewpoints categorize individuals who cheat into different behavioral types based on motivation and personality patterns. These may include pleasers, who tend to prioritize others' needs over their own and may struggle with boundaries. Individuals with compulsive sexual behaviors, often described as sex addicts, who may engage in repeated infidelity despite consequences, and those seen as highly self-focused or manipulative, sometimes labeled as sociopathic traits, who may cheat primarily for personal gain without regard for their partner's emotional impact.
And some of those too, it's an addiction. You know, when you have an obsession with sex, it's an addiction. But it also can be a mental illness. Mm-hmm. I've got clients who suffer from this, and their partners know about it. Mm-hmm. They're open with their partners about it because for them, the addiction to sex is for that partner. Mm-hmm. Because they want sex all the time or right. acts of pleasure, but it's not with someone else. Mm-hmm. It's with them. But it becomes the addiction is a mental illness also for some, mm-hmm. not just a need that they right. have to have, you know, and they're getting it from other people, right? Mm-hmm. This you have to seek help for. You should seek help even if you're cheating. You really need to go to counseling. Yeah, I really recommend that you either go counseling separately or as a family or as a couple, because cheating doesn't affect you and your spouse. It's the whole family.
Oh yeah,
literally, it changes the entire dynamics of the entire family and the structure. So, but even with this obsession or this illness, right? Mm-hmm. You have to go and seek help for this. You can't deal with it alone. Right. And they feel shame. They're embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to feel that way. But it's a compulsive thing for them.
Right.
And that's it's mental for them. Mm-hmm. So, all right. Now this is something important that we talked about earlier. I said we were going to come back around to. And Sarah Beth's going to cover that, and we'll talk about it after she reads the sentence.
Now, most importantly, without change, apologies lose meaning and become manipulation.
That's huge.
That is.
And you have to think how many times our kids apologize to us. And if this is the thing, it becomes manipulation as if the behavior is a continued behavior even after the apology.
Right.
Which is what a lot of kids do. Mm-hmm. And a lot of partners do. You should not apologize if you don't mean it.
Right.
Because with an apology comes change. Because if you're going to apologize for something you've done mm-hmm. or an action that you've committed, you have to also be committed to change so there's no need for an apology again.
Right.
But if you become repetitive, I'm sorry for the same stuff that you continue to do, the same behaviors over and over again, mm-hmm. then it's manipulation.
Right. It's not a choice then. It's a trait.
Right.
And that's who you are.
Right.
Yeah.
And you've got to learn to change that.
Right.
You can't continue your and that's why I tell my kids all the time, don't apologize to me. Well, that's not nice. No, it's not. You're manipulating the situation and your words have no meaning to me. Mm-hmm. And so they try to throw it back at me. Well, you don't want to hear me apologize. I do not. Do not ever apologize to me. And I'm very strict. You know that. Mm-hmm. Do not ever apologize to me if you're going to continue the same behavior. Because I don't do that to you. Mm-hmm. Show me the same respect. Mm-hmm. When I say I'm sorry, I work to change that behavior so I don't have to come back to you again and say I'm sorry again.
That falls back under the actions speak louder than words.
Right. Mm-hmm. If you're going to say it, mean it.
Right.
Mean it. Mm-hmm. Don't fall back on it and redo it. Because then you're teaching other people to do that. You're teaching your partner to be that way. Mm-hmm. Especially with teenagers. If you apologize to your partner, right? Mm-hmm. Say my daughter and her boyfriend. If he apologizes for something he's done, she cannot stand sometimes the way he nitpicks at her. Mm-hmm. And she will tell him 1,000 times, stop. And he'll say, I'm sorry. He may be okay for a couple of days. Then he'll start doing it again and nitpick mm-hmm. and nitpick until he makes her mad. She yells at him. Then they fight. Mm-hmm. I mean, they make up, which is great. But she does the same thing to him. It's not just on him. She will do the same thing. She will nitpick and nag and blah, blah, blah. Which, this is in every relationship, really.
Yeah.
You know, you sit there and you tickle, or you poke, or you know, whatever you're doing to annoy your other partner. If they say stop.
Right.
You don't know why they're asking you to stop. They're irritated, obviously, about something. It may not have nothing to even do with you. They're just not in a good mood, or they don't feel good. They've had a bad day. They haven't had a chance to communicate with you.
Right.
So when they say stop, they're at their breaking point. Stop.
Right.
No, absolutely.
To where you don't need to apologize. Yeah, it goes to respect. You have to respect and respect the boundaries of your partner. And that's huge what I'm trying to get across to my kids. You have to respect those boundaries.
Yeah.
You know, I do admit I do that sometimes with my husband. I will blah, 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 and he'll get irritated, but he does the same thing with me. But we don't act like our kids do.
Right.
Right. It's not the end of the world when we're going through it. You know what I'm saying? But for them, being young, being teenagers, for them it's the end of the world. You know, because they're still maturing. Their minds are still maturing, and they don't have a lot of experience like we do.
Right.
So for them, it's, oh my God, you know.
They gotta learn.
Right.
Like
they're going to break up with me. I hope not over something so trivial.
With a strong relationship to begin with, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so trying to teach them at an early age, right? And that's what you want to do with your kids. You want to teach them at an early age better communication to take forward into their future relationships.
Yeah.
You know, it starts at home. It starts with building that structure, right? Teaching them the right way to communicate. That way, when they do get into a marriage or a long-term relationship, that structure is already there for them.
They're already prepared.
And you break that cycle. Right. So, all right. So now, after that, so again, mean your apologies, because if you don't mean your apologies, they become manipulation. So that is important. All right. So go ahead.
Empty words.
Yep.
And so that leads to when separation may actually be a healthier option. If there is ongoing abuse, addiction refusal, chronic betrayal, dangerous instability, repeated coercion, severe neglect with no accountability, and continued financial irresponsibility.
And this goes with your children. You know, you have to, again, it's the structure. You have to start building these, what would you call them?
Building blocks.
Cores. Yeah. With your kids, because you want to set an example.
Right.
You want to give them something to mold their life from. And so it's important to have these core responsibilities for them and teach them when they're in their teenage years, when they're starting to venture out and get into relationships and maybe meet somebody in their senior year, you know, and that may be the person they want to end up with. So teach them these cores and teach them this respect, right?
Right.
In the beginning, now, while their minds are still molding, or, you know, their brains are still maturing, so they can take that information with them in the future.
Right.
No, absolutely. And then when you're addressing emotional or physical infidelity in a marriage, infidelity, whether emotional or physical, is one of the most destabilizing breaches of trust in a marriage.
It is.
It doesn't only affect the couple, it ripples through the entire family system. The kids.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. Everybody. And it's not just your household. When you become, when that happens in a relationship, you break down, and then it ventures out into your extended family. Hey,
It's
why haven't you
effect.
called me? Hey, why aren't you do? And then you don't really want to tell everybody your business,
Right.
you know, because it's your situation you need to work through, right? You need to heal and mend. And so you don't want to tell the entire family on a Christmas card, like, this is what I'm going through and this is what happened to me. And so it does. It affects everybody. Friendships, your work, because you start calling in because you're so stressed that you're physically sick and you can't go to work.
Yeah, you can't get out of bed.
Right. It affects everything.
It
everything. Not only does it affect everything, but how it's addressed matters as much as the fact that it happened.
Now, infidelity can often create loss or trust of emotional safety, chronic anxiety, which can cause an anxiety attack, panic attack, or hypervigilance in the betrayed partner. It can cause anger, grief, shame, numbness, insecurity, and a loss of identity. There's breakdown of communication. There's instability in parenting. Children can sense tension even if details are hidden.
Oh yeah,
They're
like
always
what's wrong?
Smarter than you think.
What's
they always
wrong?
Know.
Why are you sad? Yeah.
They always know. Long-term modeling of unhealthy relationship patterns. There's trauma and PTSD. Even when children are not told details, they feel the emotional climate.
I mean, they can naturally sense it, and it'll affect them, like their grades at school or their relationships with their friends. I mean, it really.
And
does
we have some very
down.
in tune children.
Especially
Very in tune
these
children.
days.
Yes.
Now, infidelity is often a symptom of deeper dysfunction, but it's still a choice.
And that's something very important too to talk about. It is there for your partner to go out on you, right? To be with somebody else, emotionally, physically, whatever. There's something going on with them. In order to fix the situation, that's why counseling is important. You have to get to the core of the infidelity. What made this person do this? Why are they doing this? What is going on in their life? What happened at work or whatever that's making them feel that they need to do this? Do they feel a disconnection with you? Do they feel ashamed of the person that they are for you? There's so many different things. I'm not trying to make excuses for them. But again, there's a reason, just like a bully.
Oh, yeah.
A bully is a bully because something has happened. A bully is not born to bully. A cheater is not born a cheater. Something has happened to steer them on that course.
Right.
We need to find out why.
And they've got to be willing to find out why.
And work through it.
Right.
Work through their own trauma. Whatever they're going through, if they want to stay with you. And a lot of times you'll hear, well, I do love you. Well, then why did you cheat? I don't know. And that can be true. They may not know. They may have this deep desiring love for you. But did this.
Right.
Why? Let's get down to why.
Right.
Why did you feel that this was okay? What kind of mental state were you in? What are you going through where you felt so unloved by your spouse that you had to go out on her or him?
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
All right, so number 2.
Now, if a teen or young adult child shows this behavior toward their partner, this becomes a value plus development plus accountability issue, not just punishment.
Yeah.
So, like many teens and young adults underestimate emotional consequences. Parent behavior is one of the strongest influences.
Yeah.
And it goes back to they can always sense it. They're watching even when.
And I've
even
always
they're
taught
not.
my kids about cheating. Always, with all my 3 kids. Do not cheat on your partner. You will be in trouble by me. I didn't raise you that way. And I would explain to them what that does to that person that they're doing that to. Just don't be with them. Break up with them. Do not ever cheat on a person because you demolish their sense of identity. You make them think that there's something wrong with them. Do them the favor. Do you both a favor and just break up with that person. If you feel like you just don't like that person no more, then break up with them. If you feel it goes deeper and you feel there's a disconnection somewhere and you want to be with this person, but, let's talk about it. Never cheat.
There's never an excuse for it.
Right.
Never.
Right. So, and I expect the same from their partners. You know?
Yeah, 100%. Now, infidelity is not only about relationships, it's about character under stress and choices when boundaries are crossed. Healthy repair always centers on truth without distortion, accountability without excuses, boundaries without abuse, and healing without denial of harm. Absolutely. Now, on the journey of self-discovery in relationships, there is another deeply personal truth many people come to face: the process of coming out and learning to understand their own identity. And often this happens while navigating expectations, fear, and the hope for acceptance, whether from the world around them or within their own family. Now, we wanted to bring awareness to this experience and offer support through it because for many, finding the courage to speak their truth is not simple. It can be one of the hardest conversations they'll ever have.
So we're going to get on that in just a second. We're going to talk about what that means. We wanted to finish talking just a little bit and give a little bit of structure to what we were talking about. Now, I've gone through counseling before. I think it's good for every relationship to go through a type of counseling at some point, just to reconnect, touch base with each other, and do so in a mutual, safe environment instead of at home. That way you have somebody to go between, a mediator, right? I think every relationship should have this. I think it should be something you should go through once a month, maybe. Just to come together, touch base with each other in a safe space.
Right.
I think it's cathartic for a relationship.
That safe space is key.
Yeah.
I've never been in it, but I wish I would have done it for, in the past.
Yeah. All right. So the counseling that I went through was with this couple who mainly did this through their church, but they counseled us in their home, this husband and wife. But they did it from the Love and Respect book. So it's a ministry by Dr. Emerson Eggerichs. So in the Love and Respect, he uses 2 acronyms that he presents as a complementary need in marriage. So one he uses is couple. So it's how you spell love to your wife. And he says that these are ways a husband can show love. Again, show love, action, right? To their wife. So it's COUPLE, closeness, openness, understanding, peacemaking, loyalty, and esteem. So for closeness, she wants you to be close, which is physical or emotional proximity. Openness, she wants you to be open. She wants you to open up to her, which is communication, sharing, which we've covered that.
Right.
Understanding, don't try to fix her. Just listen to her. That's huge.
Huge.
She doesn't need you to fix the situation. She just wants you to listen.
Right.
Peacemaking, she wants you to say, I'm sorry. And again, mean it.
Yes.
Change your behavior. Learn from constructive criticism. Loyalty, she needs to know that you are committed. That's important. Especially if she's gone through past infidelities with other partners. She needs to know that you're different.
Right.
Esteem, so she wants you to honor and cherish her. Again, another type of love language. So the opposite of couple, if one fellow acted very unlovingly in order to motivate his wife to show him respect. So again, the cycle of this is to show her love, and by showing her love, she'll show you respect.
Right.
That's the cycle that he talks about. So with love comes respect, with respect comes love. It's the circle, right? So for C, it's a distance. He distances himself from her. Closes off his spirit in anger for openness. For understanding, he will dismiss her feelings or praise his own solutions. For peacemaking, argued to win and never said he was sorry. For loyalty, never expressed his commitment but threatened divorce. Or E, esteem, to put her down and made her feel below him. And I know so many people for the threats of divorce where the other person has felt so loss of self-esteem or of self-love for themselves. Well, I guess if we're fighting, we just need to break up, which you see a lot in teenagers.
Oh, yeah.
But it happens with anybody. Well, if we're just going to fight like this, we're not meant to be together.
Right.
Well, that's not it.
Right, you got to work for the relationship.
Right.
And you've got others that have been so beat down that they think this is all their worth. And
right.
So they do whatever it takes, and overlook things and accept things that they shouldn't have to.
Right. And a lot of times people, once it gets to that point, and they just break up with you. There is no working it out because that's what they've been taught. That's what they see on TV. That's what they see their friends do.
Right.
When it gets too hard, you just break up. Just move on. Well, that causes trauma. If you really like that person, you should want to work through it. Not just give up. Not think you have to give up.
You got to put the work in it.
Right. So instead of motivating her, she may lose hope of their marriage and divorce him. Those of you who have daughters, can you see why your daughter would lose hope?
Yeah.
I can. All right, so now for the other one is chairs. CHAIRS is how to spell respect to your husband. He says these are ways that a wife can show respect to her husband. So C, conquest, appreciate his desire to work and achieve. So thank you for working. I try to do that to my husband, every now and again. Thank you for everything you're doing. I appreciate you. I think that's important. I think it's important that you let your spouse know that you do appreciate what they do. I think they need that.
Yeah, you should acknowledge their contributions.
Right. That's super important. Hierarchy. Appreciate the desire to protect and provide. Authority. Appreciate his desire to serve and lead. Insight. Appreciate his desire to analyze and counsel. Relationship. Appreciate his shoulder-to-shoulder approach, doing things together. And then sexuality. Appreciate his desire for sexual intimacy. We're going to talk a little bit more about that in a little bit later. There's some things there I didn't agree with that he talked about. Now this is Bible based. He's a Christian. This is Christian based off the Bible. So he references back in his teachings through the Bible. Opposites of this are going to be unsupported of his endeavors, belittling of his abilities, undermining his decisions, resistance to his counsel, unfriendly or disinterested in physical intimacy. Now, I've got the book, and there were a couple of things I think I had marked. So he talks about pink and blue. So many couples find that pink and blue analogy helps. And this is what we were taught. A wife looks at a world through pink sunglasses, listens through pink hearing aids, and speaks through a pink megaphone. A husband sees blue sunglasses, hears blue hearing aids, and talks through a blue megaphone. So for instance, you would tell a woman that means when she says through her pink megaphone, I have nothing to wear. And what a husband means when he's saying through his blue megaphone, I have nothing to wear. And then it talks about the difference in what you think each of those mean. Because think about it, the response is going to be different.
Yes.
A woman, I don't have anything to wear, is probably going to have to deal with her
She's
physique.
insecure. Yeah.
She's very insecure. For him, he probably doesn't have anything to wear and maybe wants her to help.
Oh, I was thinking he didn't have anything clean.
Or nothing clean, right, yeah. And then another one with the issue isn't the issue. So when you see the spirit of your spouse deflate, you're stepping on their air hose. That's what he says. Whatever the topic at hand, finances, sex, children, in-laws, whatever, as important as the topic is, when the spirit of your spouse deflates, a deeper issue now exists. This issue is no longer the issue. Your wife is feeling unloved and your husband is feeling disrespected. You have stepped on their air hose and you have shut them down. That's important.
You've done it wrong.
Yes. When we went through counseling, I would tell my husband, you're stepping on my air hose, man. You know, but we did. We would go through this. So what he says is the crazy cycle. So the crazy cycle is without love, she's going to react without respect. Without respect, he is going to act without love. And that I agree with.
100%.
I do. And I think it works both ways.
Yeah.
You know, that's why it's a crazy cycle. I think it goes around and comes around, and you have to understand when you've gotten to that point, right?
Right.
All right, so he has a decoding the code. So, for instance, what does a wife mean when she vents, you never spend any time with me? Is she meaning to be disrespectful and condemning, or is she crying out to the man who matters to her the most and wants to experience the love only he can give her? Right?
Right.
What does a husband mean when he says, I don't want to talk about it, drop it? He is saying that he does not love his wife? Is that what he's saying? Or is he saying that he is losing energy in some of these talks because it comes around to him being inadequate and he feels disrespected for who he is as a human being?
I'd go with that one.
You know? You got to think about those kind of things.
It's all in your tone and how you convey yourself.
Oh my
in
God,
the conversation
yes.
you have. Like, how do you hold yourself? How do you approach them?
Tone matters a lot.
It's the difference between saying hey and hey.
Right. And I think that's where a lot of things get misconstrued in texting.
So
because depending on your mood, if you're in a pissed off mood, you're going to read this text in that kind of mood.
You automatically get defensive.
Right. But that's not what it even means.
Right.
It has nothing to do. You have reread it the wrong way.
Right. Exactly.
How many times have we experienced that, even with my kids?
Especially kids. Yes, especially kids.
All right. So this is where I don't agree. Emotional release versus sexual release. A husband says, well, I know she needs emotional release, but it is the same thing over and over again. Similarly, without being crass, most husbands need sexual release, and it is the same thing over and over again. Many times we are critical of our spouse because we do not have the same need that they have, and consequently we view their need as excessive or marginal. But when we look more deeply, we realize we have a comparable need, though different, which is equally or as intense. So I do not agree with that.
I don't either.
And
Seems a little archaic.
Yes. So we do cover that in this, because that is
part of the lesson.
Yes. It's more of like what he's saying is you have to meet the sexual needs of your husband for him to do this, or this, right? Mm-hmm. I don't agree with that.
No, not at all.
Because whatever emotional release and sexual release goes both ways. Mm-hmm. It's not. And again, he's taking stuff from the Bible.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And you know me, I have viewed the Bible, basic information before leaving Earth. I 100% agree with that. 100%. It's a self-help book, not meant to be taken literally.
Right.
It's a guideline on how to live a life in a constructive way if you read it in that manner. Mm-hmm. It can be interpreted in so many ways.
It can be.
So, for the husband obviously would not have found feelings of love and affection in his heart toward her, nor want emotional connect and support her. Depressingly, they may divorce and she may feel responsible. So we're going back to what we read earlier. Mm-hmm. Those of you who have sons can also see where your son would lose hope.
Yeah.
So he also, the approach is especially through his book. There's a book out there called Love and Respect that he has written. It's not just through the counseling. Is built around the idea that many marital conflicts come from a cycle where a wife feels unloved and her husband feels disrespected. For some couples, that framework helps improve communication, but many people, including therapists, survivors, and emotional abuse and relationship experts, feel it can fall badly in certain situations, which I agree to. Mm-hmm. Especially when the relationship includes manipulation, coercion, narcissistic traits, emotional abuse, and when only one partner is doing the work. Again, just like the Bible, it's all about the whole situation.
Right.
In everything we're talking about today, everybody's situation is going to be different.
It's never cookie cutter.
Nope. All right, so here are some reasons why people say it does not work in these situations. It assumes both partners are acting in good faith. The model tends to assume both people care about the relationship, both are capable of empathy, both are willing to self-reflect, and both want mutual healing. So, in manipulative or narcissistic dynamics, that may not be true. One partner may weaponize therapy language. Mm-hmm. We've seen that before.
Oh, yeah.
Demand respect while giving none. Avoid accountability. How many times have we been through that? Shift blame. Yes. Gaslighting. Huge.
Yes.
Or use the framework to maintain control.
Again, yeah.
And that happens a lot in counseling. Mm-hmm. They use what you've learned in counseling against you. And that's not what it's meant for. Mm-mm. In those cases, communication strategies alone often do not solve the underlying issue because the problem is not misunderstanding, it is imbalance, control, and emotional harm. Mm-hmm. A one-sided effort, it creates exhaustion. So when only one spouse is trying, meaning reading books, attending counseling, changing communication, suppressing reactions, or trying to respect more or love better, right? Mm-hmm. Which is really what we've done in our past relationships. We've put in all the work.
Mm-hmm. We were in a relationship.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the relationship can become emotionally draining instead of healthy.
Right.
A relationship cannot be repaired by one person carrying all the responsibility. That is super important. It cannot work.
No, never.
Healthy repair requires accountability, reciprocation, emotional safety, and the consistent effort of both sides. That's huge. You have both got to participate in the healing. Mm-hmm. You have to.
Yeah.
Without that, the trying spouse often becomes more anxious, self-blaming, or emotionally depleted, or can even have, again, PTSD from some stuff.
Yeah. And I think that's where I was in my relationship. And even though I'm much better now, I still have flashbacks or little triggers that come up, and I still like constantly look back at certain situations, certain conversations we had, and just, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda, didn't.
Right.
And so it goes back to that PISD you're talking
Well,
about.
yeah, and we were the only ones trying, though.
Right.
Literally the only ones. Some critics feel that the framework can unintentionally reinforce unhealthy power dynamics. So critics argue that in certain marriages, especially traditional or controlling ones, emphasizing a wife's need to show respect can sometimes minimize legitimate hurt, discourage speaking up, or pressure someone to tolerate mistreat to save the marriage. They don't think about that. That does not mean the concept of respect is wrong. Mutual respect is essential. It has to be mutual. It cannot just be one-sided.
Right.
The concern in when respect becomes obedience, silence, and emotional self-erasure. So narcissistic or abusive penalties often resist genuine change. So someone with a strong narcissistic trait, you know, like your person, refuses responsibility, denying wrongdoing, or relationships I've been in, lack of empathy, retaliate when confronted, or perform temporary change without long-term consistency. How many times have we both been shut down?
Yes, I was gonna say, that's a big one for both of us.
In those situations, couples therapy itself can sometimes become unproductive or even harmful if the abusive partner manipulates the process.
Which they'll try.
Yes. I've had clients that have been to counseling outside of mine. Because if they try it in my office when we're doing couples enlightenment, I shut it down. You're not going to manipulate me. But they have said that when they've gone to counseling outside of us, that they have tried to silence the partner's time to share and talk over them and this and that. And the therapist never stopped to stop that person from taking control.
And that's not therapy, it's just
Right.
enabling.
Right. Many trauma-informed therapists recommend individual therapy first, which is what I did. I would see each person separate, then I would see them together.
That's good.
Clear boundaries, safety planning if needed, and assessing whether the relationship is emotionally safe before focusing on reconciliation. The reason I do this is I've had clients who have come to me where I would see the spouses differently, right? One spouse is cheating. The other spouse is not, is really trying to work on the relationship, but yet you're both coming to technically marriage counseling, couples enlightenment.
Right.
Why are you still engaging in infidelity?
Right.
If you're wasting my time. And I would tell them that. I am nothing but extremely honest and in telling you what you need to hear. Right. So if you don't want that, do not come to me.
Right.
Because I don't hold back. And I think that's important.
It is.
So when they would come to me one-on-one and this person would tell me, oh my God, I went out the other night with so-and-so. Well, then we're going to stop couples enlightenment. Why? Because you are actively engaging in infidelity that I do not
encourage you.
Right. I'm not going to, And so, right. Because we have an enlightenment session in the next hour. You need to figure out why we're canceling this. Because you're not going to waste my time that can be dedicated to somebody else who really wants to work on their relationship.
Right.
They would come back, you know, and the other spouse would ask, hey, why did we do this? What happened on their one-on-one? I can't tell you.
Right.
You have to remain confident. Right.
Yeah.
So in trying, you know, they put you in that situation, you try to work through it, but I will not engage in active infidelity when you're also trying to work on a marriage.
No,
That's
it's just
pointless.
Manipulation lies.
Right. You're not going to manipulate me to keep quiet just because you feel like you can trust me. You're not going to waste my time. You
Tell
know.
them what they need to hear.
Right. So emotional safety matters more than technique. No communication system works well when one partner feels afraid, constantly invalidated, emotionally neglected, manipulated, or chronically blamed. A person cannot communicate perfectly their way out of someone else's harmful behavior. That if many modern therapists focus less on gender-based roles and more on emotional regulation, attachment patterns, accountability, empathy, boundaries, trauma, and relational safety, and that's huge. And that's how I am. I don't see a distinguished of gender for my clients. you're both equally responsible.
Right.
In the
absolutely.
same way.
It's a partnership,
Right.
50-50.
I don't see a gender there. If she wants respect, you need to give her respect. She needs to give you respect. Both ways.
Right.
Love, both ways. Not words, actions. Show them actions. I would tell them, throughout the day, send them something sweet. Play a little game of send them a picture of a piece of skin of you, not sexual, but just something flesh-wise, right? To get them thinking of you, whether it's your elbow or, play a guessing game. What part is this? Because what you're doing is you're resetting their mindset of where they're at right now.
Right.
If you know that going to work is a stressful situation for them, then you want to help them because they're your partner to keep them, I guess, stable throughout their day at work. And they should be doing the same for you.
Right.
So do these little cute game things to reset their mindset at work, to get it thinking of you. And when they're going to come home, they're going to come home to you. And the things that you guys can do when you get home, maybe sexual, but it's all about resetting the mindset.
Yeah.
And getting them focused on what is than what is right now.
Right. No, that makes sense.
Approaches from people like John Gottman, Sue Johnson, or trauma-informed therapy models are often considered more effective for high conflict or emotional unsafe relationships. So a key distinction in this. So conflict problems can often improve with communication tools. Character problems like manipulation, chronic dishonesty, coercion, emotional abuse usually requires a much deeper individual accountability and sometimes separation, not just better communication. Sometimes it is better to separate to heal and to figure out what that person means to you.
Some people are just not meant to be in a relationship at certain times.
Right. They may be your person in time, just not right now, because they're going through something.
Yeah.
So Dr. Emerson has been criticized for some of his teachings around emotional connection and sexual needs and gender roles in marriage. One of more controversial ideas people discuss from Love and Respect is that the implication that many women primarily seek emotional intimacy while many men primarily seek sexual intimacy or physical release. Some couples relate to parts of that framework. Others strongly disagree with it for several reasons. And again, that goes back to those who are in the faith belief system and follow the Bible literally.
Right.
They may follow his techniques and to the word. You know what I'm saying? And not second guess anything.
Yeah.
But those of us that are more,
that's a more up to date.
Right. Not
today's
beliefs. Structure of
Yeah.
families. Because back then in the Bible, and I don't mean any disrespect, please don't think that I do, because I am a person of faith. But their ideals back then, at the time the Bible was written, was a different structure of a husband and wife.
Right.
And the roles, a lot of times back then the wife's role was to be quiet.
Seen, not heard.
Right. They didn't have a voice. And it's still like that in some countries. So I'm coming from that aspect of equality.
Right.
And that's what I mean.
Right. Well, I wouldn't
everybody
work for me in
being
the
treated-
old days because I got a big mouth. So.
Right. Everybody treated the
Right.
same. And that's a big thing for me.
Yeah.
So why some people find the idea problematic, it can oversimplify human needs. So many people feel that the teaching reduces men and women into rigid categories. So women equal emotional needs and men equal sexual needs. Real relationships are usually more complex. So many men deeply need emotional closeness, reassurance, tenderness, and vulnerability, and many women highly value sexual connection and physical intimacy. Human attachment does not divide neatly by gender.
Right.
Critics also say overly simplified gender frameworks can make partners feel unseen or stereotyped. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So emotional connection and sexual intimacy are often linked. So for many people, emotional safety affects sexual desire. If someone feels dismissed, emotionally neglected, criticized, manipulated, or unsafe, then physical intimacy may naturally decrease.
Right.
And I get that.
I do too.
I am not going to be in the mood if I know you are manipulating me.
Right.
You have just dismissed me.
I mean,
you haven't spent any time with me.
That's not exactly a turn on,
right?
You know?
If you haven't spent any time with me all week, do you really think that I'm going to come back to that bedroom and be like, oh, well, hello?
No.
No. That is the farthest thing from my mind right now. I'm just going to go to bed.
I was going to say, I'm roll over, pulling up the covers, you know,
and that's where
lights out.
And that's why I love the crazy cycle thing.
Mm-hmm.
If you do show love and respect, then they're going to show love and respect. But if it's just one-sided and you expect this to happen, you have picked the wrong partner, because it is not going to work that way. But some women feel manipulated to the fact, or controlled to the fact that they feel they have to, and I hate that.
That's sad.
Yeah.
That to me, I think, is a form of abuse.
Right.
Even if it is set by like society or their religion or beliefs or whatever.
Yeah. So some critics feel certain teachings unintentionally frame sex as a need to be met, even when emotional repair has not happened first. That can feel invalidating to the hurt partner. And it does. And that's what made me so upset about what he was saying in his book and through the counseling, because it does feel like I need to meet his needs. But then you're tossing aside or dismissing my emotional feelings. So I'm still supposed to perform.
Right. And it demeans the act itself, where
Right.
it's supposed to be, you know, trust, private love, that sort of thing.
Right. You're supposed to connect with your partner. Because that's what love is. You're connecting intimately with your partner. It's for me, should feel like a unified breath, a unified action.
Right.
You're connecting, you're one person. That's what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
It's a connection that you can't really define.
Right.
Because it's something almost cosmic when you're in that moment. And if it's not something like that, figure out why.
Yeah.
And I try to teach some of my clients, when they're having issues, the best time to do this, or to get a kind of feeling of that, is working through your breathing techniques while partaking in a sexual act. Because you're focused, you're in the moment, and you're calming your mind to be in the moment.
Doesn't it increase the endorphins or something too?
It makes for a much more pleasurable experience, I will say. And my clients have come back to me and been like, wow. And I was like, you're welcome.
Right? No dinner needed.
Right. Thank you. So it can create pressure or guilt also. In an unhealthy relationship, the teaching may sometimes be interpreted as, if you're respected, loved better, your spouse would behave better. Or, you should meet sexual needs regardless of emotional pain. Oh, no.
Boo.
Right. No. Revise your book. The interpretation can become especially harmful in emotional abusive or coercion dynamics, narcissistic dynamics, because it may pressure someone to ignore their own emotional well-being, which is not good. Not good at all. We're literally talking about communicating better. So don't think you have to partake in something because he might get mad if you don't. It's not about him.
No means no.
Right. If you are not emotionally in the moment, then you're faking it and it's not real.
Right.
You have to both be, it means more. Why would you want to belittle the act? Right? Why would your partner want that?
Right.
And it shouldn't be anything scheduled or timed or anything. It should happen.
Organically.
Right. So healthy intimacy should involve mutual desire, consent, emotional safety, care, and reciprocation. It can't just be you doing stuff.
Right.
It has to be mutual connection, mutual touching, and intimacy.
Right.
Not the one person doing everything for the pleasure of the other person. That's not right. Not obligation, fear, or guilt. So critics say that it may unintentionally excuse emotional immaturity. So some therapists argue that describing men as primarily driven by sexual release can unintentionally normalize emotional avoidance, discourage emotional growth, or reinforce the idea that men are less responsible for emotional communication. Modern relationship psychology generally encourages all partners to develop emotional awareness, vulnerability, empathy, communication skills, and self-regulation. And that's the thing. Men don't often feel like they can share. They can be emotionally vulnerable to their spouse, to their wife. But that is so important. You have to be able to feel that. If you don't think that you can feel that with your wife, the person you've chosen to be with, you need counseling.
Yeah.
You need to figure out why you can't open up to this person with what's going on in your life, in your body, in your soul.
I think some men view it as a sign of weakness.
Yeah.
Like maybe the wife or spouse or whoever will think less of them, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be the foundation. Or that's how it's been framed and raised from generation to generation, right? That they got to be the strong person. They got to be the concrete that holds the family together. But that's not. That's old ways.
Archaic.
That goes back to the ways of the wife needs to be quiet.
Right.
I'm not quiet.
Me neither.
I have even... My husband probably regrets even being with me, because when it comes to our arguments, I'm very vocal and I don't stand down. I'm going to say my piece, and by God, you're going to hear me. Do not try to talk over me. I do not like that.
That just incites me even more.
Right. But I will talk to you and want to get through this. I'm not going to dismiss it. So, but if you dismiss me, well...
Game on.
Right. But you're the same way.
Oh yeah.
You know, most of the friends that I have, like, you know, well, you and Sarah are very vocal when it comes to your relationships with your partners, because we speak our mind.
Right.
And if we are not in the mood, we are not in the mood.
No.
There is not one thing you're going to change that's going to automatically flick that switch.
They're just going to piss me off. Give me a Snickers and leave me alone.
But we're also open about it.
Right.
You know, we explain, hey, no, this, or hey, I don't feel good, or, you know, do you really, like, we just, no.
You have your warning.
Right. Oh, my biggest thing is, and I have talked to clients about this too, and this was their biggest thing. When you just get done eating, leave us alone.
Oh my God.
We are not in the mood after we've just
tired
after we've just eaten a huge meal. It's different for women, guys. Just letting you know. You have got to give us some time to process our food.
Yes, no, that is the least appealing. I feel the least appealing
right.
after I've eaten, because I mean, like, you got to go to the bathroom. You're bloated. You just
don't feel. You feel heavy.
Yes.
You do not feel sexy by no means. You may see us sexy, but you are not us, and you're not in our body feeling what we're feeling at that moment.
Right.
But if you give us time, let everything process. Maybe start eating dinner a little earlier. Maybe then by bedtime, we might be in the mood. But if we have just eaten and then you're like wanting to get it on like in 20 minutes after, you can forget it.
No. Put up the caution tape. No.
If we're sick, leave us alone. Days before, days after our cycle, leave us alone.
Me when I was sweaty.
Yeah.
I'm just feeling nasty. Just no.
Yeah. So learn your spouse. Talk to your spouse. Again, communication. What works for them, what doesn't work for them. Find out when are the least amount, what am I trying to say? The least sexiest moments for them.
Right.
And it's not planning anything. You're not trying to plan the act. You're just trying to respect their boundaries.
Right.
You want to give them the space for them to deal with whatever they're dealing with, and not bombard them with, hey, you know.
Yeah.
No, exactly. That's it.
You're avoiding a conflict, but you're respecting them in the same way, and you're showing that action of love by taking interest in, hey, how do you feel? When would be the best times for you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're taking that interest. You're going that extra mile.
Right.
Do that.
Putting
guys.
in the work.
Right. Putting in the work. Showing interest. Trauma survivors may experience Dr. Emerson's teachings differently. So for someone with a history of emotional neglect, sexual coercion, abuse, or manipulation. Messages about prioritizing a partner's sexual needs can feel deeply distressing or unsafe. And I will say somebody with abandonment issues. So that does not mean that intimacy is unimportant. It means context matters, emotional trust and bodily autonomy matters too. Many relationship experts today emphasize that emotional intimacy, sexual intimacy, and are interconnected. That neither partner needs should dominate the other's humanity. That's extremely important. And healthy relationships require mutual care rather than role-based expectations.
Absolutely.
That is a huge sentence.
It goes back to the partnership, the 50-50.
Yes. There are also therapists and couples who defend Eggerich's work, saying that his ideas were meant to encourage empathy between partners, which I can see, not justify control or emotional neglect. But critics argue that the framework can become unhealthy when applied rigidly or to unequal relationships. And that's huge. That's where we go back to everything is different. Every book out there about relationships, families, anything like that, right? I've got tons of relationship books right there. You have to take it with context as to what is going to work for your situation.
Right.
That book may not work for my marriage. Because our dynamics is different. The way he perceives things or the way I perceive things may be different from what that book is trying to teach.
Right.
And it's the same thing
You
with
got
his
to find
book.
what works for you and what applies to you.
Right. So now we're going to move on to parents, like our role in the family. We're going to get out of relationships. You guys are, we've been on that for 2 hours. We're done with that, so we're going to move on.
Tapped it out.
Yep.
So now we're going to move on to role and responsibility of parents in a family. Parents don't just raise children, they model what life, relationships, and self-worth look like. Children are always watching. A parent's role should be rooted in love, guidance, protection, presence, and nurturing growth. While every family structure is different, a healthy parental role is not about doing everything alone. It's about working together, helping build a stable, caring environment where children can thrive. Strong families do best when parents value each other, show one another respect, and are not expected to do it all alone. So like the core responsibilities, one would be love and emotional security. Spend quality time with children, be emotionally available and attentive, show unconditional love, warmth, and acceptance, and make children feel valued and secure.
And that's important. The main thing, you have to show up for your children. For engagements, ceremonies, anything like that. Show up for your children. Be present in their life. Show them love. Listen to them. Ask them how their day went. It's again, just because they're your child, they still need the action of love.
Right.
And that's how they learn it. To show
if
to
they've had
somebody
a
else.
bad
Day, ask them, like what happened,
And listen.
Yes.
You don't need to respond. Just listen. Give them that ear to talk to. You have to see them as humans too, not just children.
It makes a huge difference.
It does.
Now there's also protection and safety. Provide a safe environment physically and emotionally. Set healthy boundaries and recognize risk and advocate for a child's well-being.
That's important. So I will say, I've had to advocate at this school, high school, for many of my kids' friends because their parents aren't involved in school with them.
Right.
Because they're working, both parents working, and they believe what the teacher says. Now, you know me.
You can hear both sides.
And you know the issues I have had with schools, with my oldest son being disabled, having autism, being on the spectrum, and having to advocate him his whole life, right? Even still advocating for him. My middle son getting caught up in something at school, having to advocate for him, and trusting my own gifts of reading his energy and knowing that he's not lying to me.
Right.
And then calling out the vice principal at the time and calling her out on her misconceptions of things. Of, okay, well, you said my son said this, 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 and this. Where's your proof? What do you mean? Did you write an incident report? No. Why not? Did you get a statement from the people involved? No. Why not? Did you call the security officer? Well, for this, did you call the police? Did you call Homeland Security for what you're saying my son said? Like, no. Did you alert the school board? No. Did you interrogate my son in an office with a closed door and no window? Well, I didn't do nothing. Did you? Because somebody else should have been in there to witness the conversation, where it wouldn't be his word against you and you against him. There would have been another party.
Right.
So knowing all of this, I was able to advocate for him, because this teacher was going to suspend him and actually had suspended him. Going to the school board, calling her out on her BS, getting it recorded by the school board, and with her, don't tell me you have a video of something and then don't show me the video.
No.
Don't show me a video of a lunchroom with no audio. That tells me nothing. Can you read lips? You can't even see my son in this photo. Like, where is he in this video? With a whole room full of hundreds of kids in a lunchroom. So, going by what one person says, I had to advocate for all these other kids who weren't my kids, because their parents were like, well, if the teacher said so, then it must be.
Right.
No. In my son's case, other students have even told the vice principal that he was not involved. He didn't say this. She still suspended him. Oh, no. I don't think so.
No.
So going to the school board, filing the complaint report, having the recording, because I record everything, having that recording of the conversation, and teaching them to put in place these personal safety measures for students and for the school.
Right.
You have to record everything. You have to document every situation. They never did this. They do now.
I mean, if it's not on paper, then it never happened.
Right. Where's your proof of anything?
Yeah.
If my son made this threat, why didn't you call the school board? The school superintendent was pretty upset. He was not even alerted to any of this. So if it was such a dire, straight matter, right, that you had to suspend my kid,
it must have been pretty important,
right? You should have alerted the school board.
Right.
So anyhow, we won our case. It got wiped from the record. But these are the things I'm talking about. You have to advocate for your child. My daughter went through the same thing when she was in kindergarten. She had 3 boys in her class that would bully her. And, we talked to the teacher. She went up to the teacher. That's what you teach your kids. Go tell an adult. Find your safe spot, right?
Right.
She would. Now, mind you, again, we went to an MMA gym. My kids did kids classes there. My daughter was in the children's classes. She learned jiu-jitsu. She learned boxing and all of that in kindergarten.
Kindergarten, pre-K, or
yeah,
something.
It was kindergarten. So, she went to the teacher. Teacher told her to handle it herself with all 3 boys. So she did. They just didn't know her training. She's not going to get in trouble. She told you. You told her to handle it. Her little 6-year-old self did.
Right.
Each time, she handled it the way that her professor, her teacher, taught her in class to handle bullies. When no one's there to help you. She didn't have anyone to help her.
And then and
then they were going to suspend her. I said, oh, no.
For doing what the teacher told her to do.
Right. So the teacher called me on the phone, and she was like, telling me all this stuff. She says, oh, yeah, we've had problems with these 3 boys before. Really? So then when we went to the meeting the next day, I was saying, hey, well, you've already told me that you guys have been having issues with these boys. No, I didn't. Really? I recorded my conversation with you. Let me play that. And I did. I caught her in a lie.
I bet.
Oh, yeah. So, it was just a very horrible situation for my daughter to have to go through. But she handled herself, and I was very proud of her. I didn't yell at her. She was afraid she was going to get in trouble. Absolutely not. You didn't start it, but you ended it.
Right, exactly.
You nipped it in the bud, took care of it, did exactly what teacher told you to do. Good. So that's where you have to advocate for your children. You have to talk to your children. You have to believe your children, and you have to question both sides. Just because they're the teacher doesn't mean that they're right.
Right.
Just because they're telling you this doesn't mean it's true. It's factual. Her telling me she had a video wasn't a video. Do not take what they're telling you for face value. You have to do the advocating for your child. You have to. Listen to them. If you don't listen to them, they're not going to come to you anymore.
Right. You got to show them they've got a champion.
Right. Then they're going to feel dismissed and abandoned. And then you're teaching them that that's the cycle for them.
Especially that young of age, too. You're just molding the mind, like you said before. And
it's really, really important. You got to know. You got to let them know that you're there for them. All right. Go ahead.
Let's see, we're on number 3?
Yeah.
So guidance and teaching. Teach values such as kindness, honesty, integrity, responsibility, empathy, and respect. Model how to treat others. Help children learn life skills and decision making, just like you were just saying. You know?
Yeah, and I know you've done a lot of that with your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you've advocated for her
Oh
a
my
ton.
gosh.
You and I both have advocated for her.
Yes, Board of Education loves me.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
We're probably very well known at the Board of Education.
They have our pictures on their desk.
I know, after that incident with my son, and they started the new protocols, and something had happened, and they were like, "Is this because of your mother?" And my son was like, "Yes, I'm sorry."
Probably, yeah.
But I mean, it's something that had to happen. It's something that should have been in place. It's something that's been in place in other schools.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it not here? Why have you not done this for these kids?
Right. Exactly. I mean, it should have already been there. We
It
shouldn't have had
should
to go to links.
Most schools do that. Most schools have accountability. Most kids, and they interrogated him. She says, "Question." They interrogated him without somebody else present, like me.
No, lawsuit.
All by herself, without a security officer. That's why you need another person in there to be able to hear both sides.
So it's not he said, she said.
Right. Always. And by not having a parent in the room, that's, I feel, goes against everything. Because you've taken away that safety and security from that child, and now they feel bullied by you and feel like they have to comply to what you're saying because you're an authority figure that we've told them to always respect and not question. I am not a child. I will question everything that you're telling me until you can prove that what you're saying is facts.
Question
The question.
When it comes to my kids. Don't make up stuff about my kids.
I do it too.
Well, I get defensive with your daughter.
Well, she's practically yours anyway.
I know.
So.
I love her so much. She's amazing.
She's something. Now, under provision, you can help provide food, shelter, clothing, education, health care, routine, and stability.
Routine is big. You have to keep routine for children. I mean, I made that mistake. I know now.
I made it when Dallas was younger.
I did with some things, but I mean, all it takes is a couple of things to come out of a routine, and you play hell getting it back.
You do. Get him up, get him ready for school. Just the slightest little. Don't let him sleep.
Sleep in them extra 5 minutes one day.
It
5 more
becomes
minutes.
something every day now.
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
And then they blame you.
Give an inch, take a mile.
Well, you said.
Right.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you
back
how
in
many
1982.
times my daughter, I'll go in there and I'll wake her up and be like, "Dude, aren't you supposed to be leaving in like 5 minutes? Why didn't you wake me up?" Because you're 17 and have a phone with an alarm. What do you mean? Why didn't I wake you up? You're like months away from being an adult. Really? How are you yelling at me? Well, you knew I was tired. Did I though? Like.
Right.
But you get blamed for everything with your children.
You do.
Never go out of that. You also want to discipline with care. Correct behavior fairly and consistently. Set boundaries. Discipline to teach, not to shame or intimidate.
And that goes back to what we were talking about. You want to teach them the lessons that they need to learn, not blame them.
Don't start
It's
a
all
fight
about,
to
again,
finish
in
it.
the tone.
Yeah.
All about how you talk to them and all about how you carry yourself when you're talking to them.
It is.
There's also encouragement and support. Cheer for growth, talents, and effort. Comfort children during setbacks or pain. Help build confidence and resilience. A lot of that goes to, like if they fail, just let them know to try again.
Keep encouraging and everything else.
Yep.
Now, under support parenting, you want to respect and cooperate with the child's other parent. Avoid creating conflict that harms children. And sometimes this can be so hard.
Yeah.
But you see it a lot of times too with families, going through divorce or something. They just try to make the other parent look bad and talk down to it. You should never ever
do that. Yeah. It's, you can't play them against each other. You can't
Right, they're
play
not
the
a
parents.
tool.
No,
They're not a weapon.
they're not.
There's modeling healthy behavior, which goes back to what we were just talking about. Show self-respect, healthy relationships, emotional regulation, and compassion.
You have to have compassion. You have to be able to set aside, again, the differences from them being your child to them being a human.
Right.
You have to put that aside. They have things that are going on in school too that they need your direction for. You can't just be that, oh, you'll get over it, or oh, it's just because you're young. No. You need to stop the way that you were raised right there. If that's what you've always been told when you were younger, stop.
Yep.
Stop those behaviors. Stop them now. Learn something new.
Also,
Learn how you would want them to treat your grandchildren.
Well, I think too with compassion with other students.
Yes.
You know, going back to the bullies and stuff, they have stuff going on. Well, maybe if the bully realized that even though they've got problems, other students have problems too.
Right. And I think that's where my daughter being in that peer program that she was in, it helped her a lot to recognize as everybody as equals. She never saw those kids as being disabled. Never.
Right.
We've never saw her brother being my son being disabled. We see them all as equals.
Yeah.
Just different. You know, we all learn different. They were her friends. She didn't care what they looked like. She didn't care what their impairments were. They were her friends. And she still does that.
That's good.
Yeah.
More people need to be like that.
Yes.
Kids these days, man.
Now, for example, children often learn more from what parents do than what they say. It goes back to that, you know, do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
But like a parent model, like how to handle stress, how to treat partners, work ethic, accountability, and problem solving, you want to set an example for them so they know what to, you know, kind of like to follow.
Right.
And what matters most is being a good parent is not about perfection, spotless homes, or never making mistakes. It's about being consistent, loving, protective, engaged, teachable, and willing to grow alongside your children.
And that's important too. We put too much pressure on ourselves.
Right.
To have a perfect home, to have, I mean, I used to be like so OCD about being clean. Like I would do exactly what my mom did. Clean my house every day, dust every day, what have you. Being here now and having grown children and all these animals, you can forget it. You're lucky if this house gets dusted once a week. You know, I try to sweep multiple times a day because of all the cat hair and dog hair. But as far as dusting, no. I've gone as far as taking all my pictures off the wall because it's just too much with so many animals. You cannot physically dust every single picture I had, you remember, on my walls.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's why I don't have a single picture on my wall.
Right. So I've boxed them all up. And I remember my kids' friends coming and being like, Miss Jennifer, like, where are all of your pictures? In a box. Why? Because I cannot physically dust them every day like they need to be.
Yep.
It's just completely impossible.
It's too much.
Yeah. Maybe one day when the animals are all have gone home and crossed that rainbow bridge, maybe then I might put them back up.
Make a reappearance.
Right. You know, well, right now the home belongs to the animals. Basically, especially the cats.
Yeah.
They're going to take everything. Countertops. That foil does not work. It does not work, people. They don't care. My cats do not care with the foil or the little prickly things.
Have you seen the one putting down what is it, a squash?
No.
You're supposed to scare them or something.
What, a squash?
Yeah.
I've even tried the air cans, the motion censored air cans.
Yeah.
They don't care. My cat just goes like this and moves her paw in front of it. They don't care. Yeah, nothing phases them at all. They could care less about any of the tricks. I tried putting clothes on them because somebody told me if you put a
onesie,
a shirt or a onesie on them, they won't jump. Yeah, they do. They still jump. I don't know where they got that from.
Then they just jump looking cute.
Yes, and decorative
Stylish.
outfits. Yes.
Now, red flags of neglecting the role: emotional absence, chronic neglect of needs, abuse or intimidation, lack of boundaries, prioritizing selfish habits over children's welfare, and refusing accountability. A child's place in the family is to grow, learn, be cared for, and gradually develop responsibility, not to carry adult burdens.
That's huge.
It is huge.
I have done that.
Me
because
too.
sometimes we feel alone. You know, when you're the only person in the relationship at that moment and you feel alone and abandoned, all you have, I mean, I know I got you guys, but again, still in that moment, you tend to turn to the people in your home that have not done whatever it was to upset you.
Right.
And my kids are very caring and empathetic children. So they'll come and they'll ask, hey, hey, Mom, what's wrong? And you don't want to tell them.
Right.
But they want you to share because they want to be able to help you. Well, my kids do. My kids want to be able to help me and give me advice.
Oh, yeah.
I try not to, I'm factual with what I say. I don't spread lies, and I'm not going to tell you something I can't prove.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big thing for me. I will not say anything if I can't prove something. Because proof is really big for me.
Right.
And that's because I've always had to explain myself to people. Even now, you've witnessed the things that I've gone through where, you know, people say these things about me that aren't true. Okay, well, I've got proof that what they're saying is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so I've always had to prove myself to people, and I shouldn't have to.
Now with Dallas, you know, I just have to say so-and-so looked at me cross-eyed, and she's showing up with duct tape and a shovel. You know, I mean, of course, I wouldn't lie to her, but, you know.
She's amazing that way, though, you know.
Yeah, she can hold a grudge like no tomorrow.
I know.
And she does not forget. At least that, you know.
My kids are just like, are you okay? Yeah, okay. But you know me, I don't ever keep anything personal up very long. It's usually, 24 hours, if less?
Something. You say what you got to say,
and
get it out there, and you move on.
If you saw it, you saw it. If you didn't, you didn't. But I said my piece.
Yeah.
That distinction is important. Children should never be expected to manage their parents' relationships, emotions, or conflicts. A child's role changes with age, maturity, and ability, but generally includes learning how to be a respectful and responsible member of the household.
That's important too, because it is maturity. Not everything that's going to work for your 17-year-old, 16-year-old, whatever, is going to work for a 5-year-old.
Exactly. And even now, like my daughter, you know, she's in her 20s and stuff, so I can talk to her about more adult things than I could when she was 9 or 10.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, core responsibilities that are age appropriate. Learn and grow. Attend school or learning activities. Develop skills, character, and independence over time. Be open to guidance.
So this goes for the children. So we are reaching out now to children.
Right.
So mainly, this episode's probably going to be for 18 and over. I think with some of the stuff that we've talked about. You think? Or you think it should be open to children?
Well, the stuff in the beginning, you know, relationships and stuff, that's definitely for, you know, adults, but you could always pause it or go to the parts that could pertain to children if you want your kids to hear it.
If you have children that you want to hear this part, just start from this section of the podcast and let them listen to this.
Right. Yeah, you want it to be age appropriate. But with respect, you want to speak respectfully to family members, learn boundaries, manners, and consideration for others. You want to participate in the household, help with age-appropriate chores, clean up after themselves, contribute as they're able.
Now, the other day, my son was here, and my daughter just got done eating something and put the bowl in the sink. Now, mind you, the sink was completely clear. All the dishes were done. And he said, why don't you just wash that bowl? And she was like, why? And he was like, because the sink's empty. Why don't you just wash the bowl? Why? She was like, you never did. And he was like, yeah, but I do now. Yeah, but you don't live here. Like, they were arguing about one bowl.
Just a couple years, you know, will do. And the experience, you know, now that he's out on his own, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The one point you're like, yeah. And you're like, it took you long enough, you know, like, yeah.
But now she's like, you don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And she leaves it in there for someone else to wash. And I'm like, it's a, what?
Yeah.
It took you 5 seconds to wash a bowl. But you'd rather leave it in there. At least she tries to rinse them out. Or will leave water in them.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I've got her there.
I got it.
All right.
So now there's also honesty, tell the truth, take responsibility for mistakes, and learn from them. Definitely, you know, like, you don't want to tell any little white lies or anything like that. You want to follow reasonable rules, respect household rules meant for safety and growth,
especially if they're age appropriate.
Yes.
Express feelings in healthy ways, learn to communicate needs, fears, frustrations, and emotions.
Now, the whole reason we do this, kids, is because we are trying to, as a parent, mold you for the future.
Yes.
Trying to teach you responsibilities that you're going to need, these structures, for when you leave our home.
Right.
And it's not that we want you to leave, but we want you to leave. Because that's what we've raised you for all these years, was to teach you how to live on your own.
Right.
So when you say, you're going to be upset when I leave, yes and no.
Right.
Because this is what we've raised you for.
That's what parents do.
Right. We aren't doing this to be mean to you. The chores that we give you aren't there to be mean to you.
They're character building.
Right. They're there to help you.
Prepare.
Right. because you're going to have kids one day. You're going to live on your own one day.
You're going to do the same thing.
You need to learn how to do things.
Circle
We've got to
life.
teach you how to cook. We've got to teach you how to do your own laundry.
Mm-hmm.
That means wash, dry, fold, put away.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Repeat.
Right.
You know?
Go grocery shopping.
Mm-hmm.
We need to teach you that.
Budget.
Finances, right?
Mm-hmm.
Budgeting, all this stuff. We teach you all this not to hound you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's because we're trying to, like you said,
Turn to a responsible adult
Yes.
that can handle life. Yeah.
yes, be a contributed person to your community.
That's it.
Not a problem for it.
No. Now, there's also developed relationships. You want to learn kindness, empathy, teamwork, and conflict resolution with siblings and others. Kind of like working in customer service and stuff.
Yeah.
Dealing with the general public.
Yeah. Sorry about the dogs. I don't know what's going on. So if you hear them barking, my apologies.
A child is not responsible for fixing the parent's marriage, mediating adult conflicts, being a therapist to a parent, carrying financial stress, parenting younger siblings as a substitute parent, managing a parent's emotions, accepting abuse or mistreatment, earning love through performance.
Now, I have had clients whose parents have been absent, and the older sibling has had to raise the younger ones.
Mm-hmm.
And now, even though they still live in the house with their parent, they don't view that parent as their parent. They view the older sibling as their parent.
They go to them with problems,
Everything.
and questions, and
And then the
seeking
parent
advice.
is like, now all these years later, right, decades later, I don't know why they do that.
Yeah.
Well, we have to go back to the core of the problem from back in the day when you were doing
That's the
whatever it
role
was
they
you were
learned.
doing. This is where they've learned that you've abandoned them.
Right.
Even though you're still here, you abandoned them. And so it's trying to work when I do family counseling. Having to work again, I see each individual separately. But then we come together as a group unit and have to work through everything and be that mediator for all sides.
Right. These are adult responsibilities. Children are part of the family system, but they are not partners in the marriage. They should not be pulled into loyalty battles, secrets, or choosing side dynamics. Healthy parents protect children from adult relationships issues whenever possible. A healthy child's job is not to be perfect. It is to grow, learn, feel safe, develop character, and gradually become a responsible, independent person. Healthy families protect people first, title second.
All right, so now we're going to go over some experiences and relationships at home. We are almost done, I do promise. We are already at 2 hours and 30 minutes, but we will get there. We just feel that this episode is very important
A lot of information
and needs to be
covered.
shared.
It does.
So the way that teens and young adults experience relationships at home often become the blueprint, that's important, that they unconsciously carry into friendships, dating, marriage, authority figures, and even how they view themselves. Teachings like those of Dr. Emerson can affect young people very differently depending on how the parents apply them, whether home is emotionally healthy, and whether respect and love are mutual. So we go back to the love and respect. So when these values are modeled in a healthy way, if parents use these ideas like listening respectfully, showing appreciation, resolving conflict calmly, valuing emotional needs, and treating each other with kindness, then a child will learn communication matters, people deserve dignity, conflict can be handled safely, and relationships require effort from both people. That can create emotional security, confidence, empathy, and a healthy future relationship expectations. So that's important because if your child sees how you're handling your relationship, your marriage, your partnership, what have you, in a healthy way and respecting each other, then of course that's what they're going to learn.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to see what you do, how you're handling it, and that's what they're going to model their life after and their relationships.
Yeah, we can follow your lead 100%.
Right. A teen raised in that environment often learns that I can express emotions and still be loved. Disagreements don't mean rejection, and respect is mutual, not demanded through fear. But unhealthy applications of his teachings can damage the damaging lessons, such as problems happen when relationship teachings become rigid, fear-based, or one-sided. So for examples, if a child grows up hearing, respect authority no matter what, That goes back to the teacher thing. Keep the peace at all cost. Don't question parents. Your emotions are disrespectful, or good children stay quiet. They may begin learning unhealthy emotional patterns. For me, I've always taught my kids, you need to question me. If I am doing or saying something that is not right, or you found disrespectful, come to me.
Yeah.
I give them that open door. They won't get punished. They won't get in trouble, because I'm not perfect. I'm going to say things that again, heated in the moment. And I need to be held accountable for my actions, my tones, and what I say, even as a parent. But I give that open door to my kids.
Well, that too, they can always misunderstand something,
Right.
or, you know, and they can come and question you, and that's when they have the better understanding. And I think a lot of kids have miscommunication or misinterpretation of certain things. And so if they feel comfortable enough for you to explain, then yeah.
Yeah. I think it's important. The communication just doesn't go with partners. It goes with your children. It has to be. So a child may learn that their feelings are less important. Love must be earned. Conflict is unsafe. Boundaries are wrong. Obedience matters more than honesty, or speaking up causes punishment or rejection. We don't want to give them that impression at all. Some teens then grow into adults who over-apologize,
Guilty.
fear confrontation, tolerate mistreatment, people pleaser, suppress emotions, or confuse control with love. Others may go the opposite direction and become emotionally guarded or distrustful. Would you agree?
I agree.
100%. It is all about, I mean, you have got to be able to teach them these things in a healthy way. And it all starts, again, by modeling after your relationship. They see everything. Believe me. They may be on their cell phones doing whatever,
They're
but
paying attention.
their ears are open, I promise you, all the time.
It's not like when you ask them to do chores or something.
Oh,
you
no,
know?
no. It's selective hearing.
Yes.
Didn't you know?
It is.
Selective hearing. And kids are all about being in adults' business.
Oh, yeah.
All of,
Yes,
and
yes.
even contributing to the conversation. They don't even know what you're talking about. So what children absorb from parents matters more than the words themselves. So children watch how parents argue, how apologies happen, whether emotions are welcomed, how power is handled, and whether respect goes both ways. So if they see a father who is being disrespectful or dismissive to the mother, well, then that's how they're going to treat people. Or that's how they're going to expect to be treated by somebody and think that it's okay when they are.
Yeah, or they're going to disrespect their mother.
Right. A parent can talk constantly about respect, but if the home includes humiliation, manipulation, intimidation, emotional neglect, favoritism, or fear, the child often learns love is conditional. I must perform to be accepted. My needs are inconvenient, and power matters more than connection.
Yep.
So, again, this is extremely important, parents. You've got to learn the correct way to communicate with your children.
Always watching.
Healthy parent-child relationships teach balance. So healthy parents teaches both guidance and boundaries, and emotional safety and validation. Children need to learn that they can disagree respectfully. Emotions are allowed. Accountability applies to adults too. Apologies are healthy, and love is not removed when mistakes happen.
That's so important.
A lot of times kids will feel like they're unloved if the parent is mad at them. They don't love them anymore. Also, emotions are allowed. Don't tell your child to stop crying. I am guilty of that from when I was years ago. Because they have to cry.
Yeah.
You've upset them. They have
You've
to
got to
get
get
that
it
out.
Yeah.
And the same thing with adults. Don't tell your wife or your husband to, So, one of the strongest lessons a parent can model is, you matter even when we disagree. Important distinctions for teens and young adults. So, respect in a healthy family should mean listening, honesty, consideration, healthy boundaries. It should not mean fear, silence, emotional suppression, and loss of individuality. And likewise, love should not mean control, guilt, emotional dependency, or sacrificing mental well-being to avoid conflict. What this can teach a child long term. Children raised with emotionally healthy balance often grow into adults who communicate better, choose healthier partners, trust themselves, set boundaries, and understand the real love that includes both accountability and compassion. And they're going to model their partner after what they see in your relationship.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say, well, I demand this because I demand love and I demand respect. And they're going to hold their partner accountable.
Mm-hmm.
If their partner doesn't give them that, then they're going to be strong enough to be able to walk away.
Well, too, I think it'll help them have stronger relationships and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, when they do find a partner that'll match them.
Yep. Children raised in emotionally unhealthy dynamics may need time to relearn that their feelings matter, that boundaries are not selfish, and that love and respect should flow both ways. That relearning is possible, and many people begin recognizing those patterns in their teen or young adult years as they start comparing family dynamics to healthier relationships around them.
They're going to follow you.
Yep.
Now, when family role is marked by absence, neglect, dysfunction, or abuse, the goal is not to preserve appearance. It is to restore health, safety, accountability, and dignity. Sometimes that means repair and reconciliation. Sometimes it means boundaries, separation, or outside intervention.
Yep, like counseling.
Mm-hmm. Now, different problems require different responses. There's universal ways to address missing responsibilities. Name the specific behavior. Use clear facts, not vague attacks. Instead of, you don't care, try, the bills were ignored for 3 months, or you haven't spent time with the children this week.
When you yell, you insult me. It harms trust.
Oh, yeah, you definitely don't want to use that one. Now, clarity creates accountability. State the impact. Explain how the behavior affects others. I feel overwhelmed carrying everything. The children are anxious when there is constant conflict. I no longer feel emotionally safe.
You definitely want to explain yourself more so there's
Yes,
no miscommunication.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because kids are going to overthink.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the tone.
Yeah, tone is
matters.
key.
Yes.
When it comes to important things like this, don't text.
Talk in person, face to
Yes.
face, to show the importance and
To show that the support.
too.
Yeah.
You want to define the needed change. Ask for observable actions. Weekly budget review, shared chores list, daily parenting time, no yelling or name calling, counseling attendance, honesty, and transparency.
Yep.
4, you want to set boundaries. Boundaries are not punishment, they're protection.
They protect you and them.
It does.
If yelling starts, I will leave the room. If bills are not paid, finances will be separated. If abuse continues, whether emotional or physical, I will seek legal and physical safety.
And that's just accountability.
Mm-hmm. That's healthy for all parties involved as well.
And 5, you want to require consistency, not promises. Change is behavior over time. Look for repeated effort, ownership without excuses, follow through, humility, and patience. You want to also bring in support. Use licensed counseling, family therapy, financial counseling, parenting classes, medical or mental health treatment, or trusted support systems. Now, you also want to protect children from adult dysfunction. Do not use children as messengers, therapists, spies, allies against the other parent, or emotional dumping grounds. Again, that's hard to do when
It is very hard to do.
you're a
When
single
you feel
parent
alone.
and you work
Yeah.
all the time and it's just the kids, yeah. Now, what real repair looks like. Repair includes apology with ownership, changed patterns, restitution where possible, patience rebuilding trust, transparency, and respect for boundaries. Real repair is not words, it is consistent action over time.
All right, so I've worked with several clients who've struggled deeply with this moment, not because that they didn't know who they were, but because they feared the truth would be received, how it would be received. So this is what we talked about earlier, coming into your identity, and coming out to family.
Right.
So this is a very important part of this episode for me because I do have many clients and family who have gone through this and friends. And we're just going to dive right in. If your partner tells you that they are gay, this is a situation where clarity, respect, and emotional steadiness matter more than quick reactions. First, this is usually not sudden for them. Even if it feels sudden for you, many people carry this realization privately for a long time before speaking it aloud. Now, I'm mentioning this whole thing in this podcast because I do have clients that either have gone through this or are currently going through this, friends or family in the same situation. So I just ask that you guys please listen. If this is a subject that you do not agree upon, that's okay.
Just skip over it.
Fast forward. But this is very important to a bunch of people who really matter to me and that I love dearly. And this is a safe space, and we do not judge. So what it means and what it doesn't mean. It means that they are sharing an important truth about their identity. It does not automatically mean betrayal or that they stopped caring about you. Again, this is not about you. It does mean the romantic and sexual foundation of the relationship may no longer align. A healthy first response in the moment, the most stabilizing responses are, thank you for telling me something that must have been very difficult to say. I need time to process this, but I want to respond respectfully. I hear you. You want to avoid immediately anger-based interrogation, shaming or moral judgment, demands for instant decisions. You have to understand this is very hard for them. This is something they have thought about for quite a long time. This isn't something they just threw upon you. And it is very hard for them to have come forward to even talk to you. So please be respectful in this moment. I couldn't
even imagine coming out and the courage and stuff it would take to do that.
Yes, especially nowadays. What to expect emotionally. Common reactions include shock or disbelief, grief, because a shared future is changing, confusion about identity versus relationship loss, fear about family, finances, children, or stability. All of this is normal. The best way to move forward practically. Pause major decisions initially. You want to avoid immediately separation decisions made in anger or panic, financial or custody changes, public announcements, and give space for clarity. I understand that this impacts you as the partner. But again, this is their story to tell. It is not for you to go and tell your perception of the situation to family or to your friends or whomever else, especially the children. This is their story, and this has to be done on their timing and in their time. Separate identity from relationship outcome. Two truths can exist. You can respect their identity. The romantic relationship may or may not continue. These are related but not the same decision. Seek support. You want to seek counseling, even couples counseling, just to work through it, you know. Help for options, individual counseling for both partners, couples counseling, especially for co-parenting or separation clarity.
That's good.
Yes. LGBTQ affirming support spaces for both sides. You know, educate yourself about what they're going through, about what this means to them and for them.
Be empathetic.
Yes. Redefine the relationship if needed. Possible outcomes: respectful separation, co-parenting partnership, friendship, not always immediate, but is possible. Continued cohabitation with boundaries in some cases. And there is no single correct path, only what is the healthiest and honest. If you are the partner who needs courage to speak, we're going to switch roles. This is often one of the most difficult conversations a person will ever have, and why it feels hard. Fear of hurting someone you love, fear of rejection or conflict, fear of family, social consequences, and guilt about the relationship history. So how you can prepare yourself. Be clear with yourself first. That is extremely important. Before telling your partner, this is my truth, even if it changes things. Clarity reduces backtracking in the conversation. Choose a safe, private setting, calm environment, no time pressure, no distractions, and avoid during conflict or crisis. Be direct but kind. So for an example, I need to share something important about who I am. I've realized that I am gay. This is not something I chose, but something I've come to understand about myself. Allow space for their reaction. They need silence, time, emotional processing, questions later, not immediate. You have to understand that you coming to your partner with this or whomever with this, you have to give them the space to process it. Mm-hmm. You can't take it as immediate rejection. Don't force immediate outcomes. You do not have to decide everything in one conversation. If a parent's child, teen or adult, comes out as gay, avoid traumatic reactions. First principle, your reaction becomes part of their lifelong emotional memory. I'm going to say this again because this is extremely important. If you have a child that is going to come to you and tell you that they are gay, you please always remember that your first reaction to this is going to be their lifelong emotional memory or trauma. The biggest need for the child is safety, your acceptance, and continued love. Even if you are surprised or struggling with it internally, this is not your life. This is their life. This is where you, again, they are a human separation from you. You have to understand that this is their journey and they just need your help going through it. They don't need your help to make them feel ashamed, dismissive, or wrong.
Yeah.
This is not about you. This is not about anything that you've done wrong. This is not about any way in whatsoever how you've raised them. This is who they are. This is the identity that they are. It is up to you to support them.
Well, the fact that they're coming to you to tell you, shows their strength and courage, and that they trust you.
Right. You need to take a deep breath, step back for a moment, and just understand that how hard it was for your child to come to you. So, healthy parent responses should be, you want to lead with love and not questions. I love you and thank you for trusting me. Regulate your own actions. So, even if you feel shock, confusion, concern about religion or expectations, or even social issues nowadays being accepted in society or in your community, avoid expressing rejection in the moment. Separate the identity from safety. Focus on, are you safe? Do you feel supported? Note, why are you this way, or are you sure, is repeated invalidation. You do not want to say that at all. That. They are sure they're coming to you. Why are you this way? That's invalidating their identity. Please don't do that. Educate yourself after the conversation. Parents often need time to learn terminology, emotional experience of LGBTQ, and how to support without control. So, maintain parenting structure. Acceptance does not mean lack of boundaries. It means continued guidance, continued involvement, continued expectations for respect and behavior. Keep your faith-based opinions to yourself, because you telling them, oh, well, I don't agree with this because of our faith. Okay, but now you're putting them in a position where they feel like they've let you down. They're a disappointment to you. Please keep your opinions like that to yourself if they're negative, because it can cause, again, this moment is an extremely important moment in their life. This is something they will remember until the day that they go home.
It's a defining moment.
Very defining moment.
Their relationship with you.
Right, exactly. What harms children in these moments? Rejection or withdrawal of love, threats of punishment, forcing secrecy, spiritual or emotional shame. This is just a phrase, dismissal. And these can have long-term mental health impacts. You have to remember this is your child, no matter what. This is still your child. Nothing's changed about them. They've just found the courage to tell you what they're going through.
Oh,
yeah. If your child or teen is struggling to come out, many young children fear rejection, being misunderstood, family conflict, religious or cultural pressures, or loss of safety and housing. I've known a lot of clients or friends whose parents have disowned them. And that has really damaged them their whole life because they were abandoned, because of just stating who they were.
Well, one thing is, even though you might not approve of their lifestyle, it's their lifestyle.
Right.
It doesn't have to be yours.
Right.
I mean, they're still your child no matter what.
Right. Parenting while carrying your own history of abandonment, abuse, or assault is one of the hardest balancing acts there is, because you're trying to give stability while still managing a nervous system that learned early that the world wasn't always safe. The key idea that helps many people is this: you don't have to be fully healed to be a good parent, but you do need awareness, support, and repair skills. So with that said, here, Sarah Beth is going to go over with you a checklist that we have compiled, and she'll tell you where you can find. We uploaded a copy of this, so if you need to go to it, but this is for abuse and.
Yeah, so like if a teen or young adult is being coerced, abused, or sexually pressured by a partner, what parents should do? First thing you should do is stay regulated and believe first. Stay calm. Your reaction sets the tone for whether they keep talking. Say, "Thank you for telling me. I believe you." Do not interrogate or demand full details immediately. Let them tell their own story and tell you at their own pace. You want to assess immediate safety. Ask, "Are you safe now?" Identify if the partner has access to them: home, school, online, social media. If there is immediate danger, remove access immediately. You want to clarify what kind of harm is happening, like without pressing. Understand if it involves emotional manipulation, guilt, threats, isolation, sexual pressure or coercion, physical harm or intimidation. If it's a type of control like phone monitoring, isolation, jealousy control, or even if it's threats like a significant other saying, "If you leave me, I'll do something harmful."
Yeah.
You want to remove contact and access if it's unsafe. Block the partner on phone, social media if needed. Coordinate with the school if they share environments. Ensure that they are not alone with the partner. Do not force continued contact to talk it out. You also want to validate reality clearly. Say things like, "This is not healthy behavior," or "You're not responsible for someone else's control or anger." That is so important, because it's so easy to just kind of like place the blame on yourself. You also want to avoid two common mistakes. Like, do not say, "Why didn't you leave sooner?" or "I told you not to date anyone like that." That's probably one of the worst things you could do.
Yeah. And the checklist goes on.
Yeah.
And there's 2 of them, right?
Yes, there's also one for assault or abuse response. Like if your partner has been assaulted, it has different steps you can take, tips on what to do, advice on how to get them safe. But you can find these on universalworksofhealing.org.
When you go on to podcast and music, go to Universal Truths and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page underneath episode 17. You'll see the link that'll take you to both these these checklists.
Yes, and it's got different resources on there as well too.
Yeah. So those are really good. Again, if you have any questions or need to talk, there's a contact page on universalworksofhealing.org that you can reach out to me. The phone number's there also. You can text me.
You can reach out anonymous too if wanted.
Anonymously, yeah. I want to note that the insights and guidance that have been shared in this episode are based on experience and perspective of mine and Sarah Beth's, not medical or clinical advice. This space is meant for awareness and support, not a diagnosis or treatment. If you're struggling, please reach out to a qualified professional who can support you directly. There's also hotlines, support groups. We mentioned some last week's episode. As we close today's conversation, I want to bring us back to the heart of everything that we've explored today. Family roles are not just titles we inherit. They are lived experiences shaped by history, trauma, culture, and the choices that we make in real time. And while no one enters a family system perfectly prepared, every one of us carries a responsibility to become more aware of how our actions affect the people closest to us. What we've discussed today is not about blame. It's about recognition. Recognition of patterns, recognition of pain, recognition of responsibility. And most importantly, recognition that change is possible when truth is no longer avoided. Because behind every role in a human being, behind every conflict, there's a story. And behind every moment of breakdown, there is still an opportunity for repair, for boundaries, for healing, and sometimes for starting again in a healthier way. Not every situation will look the same. Not every family will choose the same path forward. But what remains universal is this: safety matters, truth matters, and no one should have to carry harm in silence. If there is anything to take from today, let it be this: awareness is the beginning of change, and change always begins with honesty. This has been Universal Truths, Exploring the Extraordinary. Please go to my website, universalworksofhealing.org, and submit your stories, your questions, and your curiosities, because your experiences may shape a future episode or help others to understand that they are not alone in what they are feeling or experiencing. Be sure to pick up a copy of my book, Enlightenment, Helping You Be Your Own Cure, through open-hearted communication and insight, available now on Amazon.com. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and never stop exploring the extraordinary.